This is the Andy Citron Injury Attorneys Friday Night Rivals. Presented by Bishop State Community College.
The home team, the Spanish Fort Toros, 59-5 at home since they built this stadium here on the hill, playing their closest rival, the Daphne Trojans. They're 5-1 all-time against the Trojans, but Spanish Fort comes into this game with a tough loss last week. Daphne a win over 7A Theodore, and region play starts here tonight in Spanish Fort. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox. My partners, as always, Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett, and we talked about this earlier tonight, Dan. You have to think Daphne feels really good where they're at coming into this game after the big win and the tough Spanish Fort loss last week.
Yeah, nice win against a 7A team. Spanish Fort crosses the bay to take on a big 7A team, maybe a better one in McGill-Tulane. Let's be honest about that. And really has a whole lot of trouble in the second half. The score gets out of hand. But like we talked a little bit to Lance Crawford earlier, I think the Spanish Fort team has had a talking to, if you know what I'm saying. We'll see what happens tonight.
All right, Daphne, a big win last week as they beat Theodore. Defense, always what this team is going to be predicated on with Kenny King as the coach. And, boy, they have got a rock star back there at cornerback.
They do. His name is Christian Williams, and he really may see a little time on offense, too. It depends on the flow of the game and what he can do. We had a chance to see him and talk with him during our pregame show. You may have just caught that. Great athlete. Alabama commit at this time. Everybody wants him. Right now, it looks like his choice is the Tide, but he's the type of player that can make a play in a tight game and twist the whole thing around, so watch him.
You know, if Vic Lockett's going to talk about an offensive player, it must be somebody who got his attention. And we saw Spanish Fort last week. Their quarterback starting last week saw him play against a tough McGill team. Thought he played pretty well. Obviously, you thought so too.
I did. A little bit of role reversal here between Dan and I. He's learning defense does win championships. But there's our guy right there, Jackson Bullcoulter. Looks every bit of the part of the quarterback. 6'5", 200 pounds. Last week, 17 of 30, marginal, 168 yards, really good. TD, INT. Just guys that pocket presence and ability to keep his eyes downfield when all the bombs are blowing up around his feet. One of those guys I really like negotiating the pocket. And as I say, he looks every bit of the part. Shows a little athleticism there, getting the ball in the end zone on a run, keeper. I think he's going to be a factor tonight, but he's got his hands full dealing with that DB committed to Bama.
And this is such a tough region. It's a tough region week matchup each week for all of these teams, but a big one here tonight for both Spanish Fort and Daphne. It's a rivalry, maybe more for the fans than it is for the coaches. They're more worried about the region game.
I don't know about that.
Okay, or the region. Each team 0-0 in the region. We'll find out who jumps out to a 1-0 region record tonight in Spanish Fort. Daphne and the Toros tonight here on UTV 44. Spanish Fort and Daphne, big rivalry here on the Eastern Shore, been dominated by the Toros. And let's go down to the sideline and check in with Tara as we start the broadcast. Tara.
Guys, as you know, this Daphne coaching staff has gone through a lot of changes this past year. Not only did Coach King hire a new coordinator, but he got 6 new guys on the coaching staff offensively. I talked to the new OC, Zach Golson, about how he was able to not only get the coaches, but the players on the same page this offseason. He said the transition went fairly easily. He said because the coaches all have the same goal to win, and the players really bought in day one, going above and beyond. Said he was pleased last week with the offense's performance. No turnovers, no sacks. He's hoping that they'll be just as productive tonight against the Toros.
One thing we got here, thank you, Tara. One thing we got here tonight, 2 great kickers. As Matt Quinn, we've talked about him. He was a guest in the pregame show. Diego Guajardo.
I don't know if you could have a game in the state of Alabama with 2 better.
Left-footed kick in. That one will go into the end zone, and so we'll see the Toros start out at the 20-yard line. Spanish Fort, 4-time state champions, 5-1 all-time against Daphne. There's Ben Blackman, head coach of the Toros, his 4th season. It's 36-6 here at Spanish Fort. Overall, 88-13. Been at Spanish Fort, Gulf Shores, and Greenville. How about Coach Blackman, 23-1 in region play as the coach here. He's only lost back in 2016 to Blunt. He's just been on a great run here. Of course, went 15-0 to open things up in his first year in 2015 when they won the state championship, and he's won the Region 2 of his first 3 years here for the Toros. Jackson Burkhalter, junior quarterback. Empty set, steps up in the pocket and looking to go to DJ James down the near side. Floats it up, and it's broken up. Juwan Miles in coverage there. And we see DJ James immediately split out at wide receiver. The All-State cornerback gets split out there, and that ball kind of hung up in the air a little bit. Looked like he had to come back for it.
Perfect call against the zero coverage defense, man on man. Burkhalter shows he's got an arm to get it out there. Just didn't execute it at the end of it.
Yeah, and the wind probably played a little role in that ball getting batted down, Jim.
Up front, Wilson, Freeman, Tuberville, Gage Grayson, and Nathan Brown, Garcia, and Drain on the outside. And incomplete there on second down. And it's now 3rd and 10 for the Toros to
back-to-back blitzes by the Daphne defense. They're not going to let Burkhalter sit back there like we saw last week and negotiate that pocket.
Yeah.
Looks like early on.
I was noticing that, and one thing about Daphne, they had a great defensive line last year. Just about all that line is gone.
3rd and 10. Burkhalter again steps up in the pocket, fires it incomplete, intended for Finn Heath and over his head, and 3 and out to start things off for the Spanish Fort Toros. And the Daphne defense only allowed 13 last week to Theodore. Had 2 sacks and a takeaway. They come up big there. Davis Mason had the big game last week. 4 tackles for a loss. Gibbons, Pruitt, Cleveland, Collins, and Baker. The linebackers. Then you got Christian Williams, everything on the corner there. Teams don't throw his way much. Juwan Miles, we saw on the other side in coverage. Gorowski and Gatewood. Back deep. C.J. Young. Ryan Duff to punt for the Toros from his own 20, and that one not a great kick, and then takes a big Daphne Trojan bounce, and it only goes 15 yards.
Early observation. You know, sometimes you've heard in accidents where you overcorrect and crash.
Yep.
Maybe this group has been overcorrected here. It's a little bit tight.
Kenny King, head coach, 3rd year here. 18-6 overall, 14-2 in the region. And Tara talked about some of the coaching changes. Zach Golson coming over from McGill as the offensive coordinator now. Brian Campbell back. Tellis Stone was the head coach over BC Rainey's, now coaching the secondary. And now we'll see Trent Battle, this sophomore. 18-24 for 108 yards last week, and we get a penalty as they give Joseph Hall, and Hall going to pick up a couple. We got flags on the other side. A big hit on the far side. DJ James over there, but this one's going to be a motion, maybe an illegal shift against the Toros before they got this one started. Actually marked that one out of bounds at the 39, so it was a 19-yard punt, but still great field position for Daphne. Let's listen in.
Illegal shift on the offense, be a 5-yard penalty. Replay first down. Also, sideline warning to Daphne.
Billy Pine always does a great job.
Yes, he does.
Does a great job explaining the calls, which we always appreciate. Our referee here tonight. So Spanish Fort will take the penalty in 1st and 15 and back up Daphne to their own 44. Yeah, Trent Battle, just a sophomore quarterback, an athletic guy. He can bust a big play on the outside. Gage Bonner broke his finger, and Battle found out he's going to be starting last Wednesday in the win over Theodore. Again, they give it off to Joe Hall. Tries to cut it up on the inside, and Carlos Johnson is in there. Also, Dakin Fitzgerald.
Looks like the defense got the message.
Let's look at the offensive starters up front. Olmsted, Martinez, Weir, Silva, and Bueller. The offensive line for the Trojans. Young had 10 catches last week for Daphne. Dante Lee had 2, including a 39-yard touchdown reception on the other side. We'll see Pogue in the backfield along with Joseph Hall. And be curious, Dan, as to where and when. You alluded to it in the pregame show where you're talking about Christian Williams. Will we see him on the offensive side of the ball? Can be a receiver, can be a quarterback, can get the ball in his hands. Just
if there's ever a night you're going to use him, I think this would be it.
Yeah, first region game, rivalry game, why not?
Daphne takes a timeout, a minute 36 into this one on 2nd down and 15. Yeah, you know, Ben Blackman talked about he really thought his kids would come out with a lot of fire and energy tonight. Maybe you didn't see it as much on that offensive side. Give Daphne's credit for that. But defensively, you see a lot of fire. We'll come back to that. See the two games that happened last night. Tonight, Mary G and Fairhope. Murphy and McGill, the battle of the cannon there. Big news, Sheldon Lehman, quarterback for McGill, will not be playing in that game. An injured groin. Davidson and Albert Bryant tonight. Theodore and Baker. Baldwin County and Gulf Shores. Bisay, Rain and Saraland. Robertsdale and Blunt. A lot of region games kicking off tonight. St. Paul's on the road over in Mississippi. Citronelle and Leroy. Bayside and Faith Academy. But Faith throwing 55 on the board last week with Jack French taking over at the helm there. He's got the trend is your friend with Jack French. He's done it everywhere he's gone. You see the rest of our games there on the schedule. And now second.
Jack French can grab 11 guys out of the band and beat people.
Second and 15. And now Battle steps up. Now wants to float it down the far side. A little miscommunication between Dante Lee and Battle there as that one was airmailed. And third and 15 coming up for the Daphne Trojans. So we see defense dominating this game to start. Cooks, Fitzgerald, you'll see Mitchell Babbs on that line as well. Carlos Johnson, Ryan Duff, Sam Hoover, Watts and Brady Wiggins, the linebackers. DJ James, Mike Miller, 3-year starter. Luke DeWeese, another returning starter at safety. And Micah Gaffney, the only youngster in the secondary for the Toros. Give, handed off Jay Pogue, and he'll get maybe one. So Daphne goes backwards on their first drive. They start at their own, at the Toro 39, and going to have to punt.
The same defense we saw early against McGill. They stacked the line. They stopped the run. McGill really, the game, you didn't see the game. It was big plays, and big plays after turnovers. It wasn't a bunch of first downs. McGill did not methodically drive the ball against this defense. They actually played pretty well against the run most of the game.
Yeah, they usually have good fits, Spanish Fort, and as you can see right now, they've got good fits early in this ball game as well.
Chris Abrams drained back deep to punt. Hardo looking for the corner. It goes over Drain's head and goes out of bounds inside the 10. Wow, knocked it out of bounds at the 6-yard line.
Very nice punt.
Diego Guajardo, as we said, had 3 field goals last week. Also executed a fake punt. And Daphne got that win over Theodore to open things up.
Let's see if Spanish Fort can settle down and execute.
What a little run action.
Yeah, you think they always run to settle them down, huh?
3 straight.
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Well, you're at the 5, your own 5. They had 3 straight incompletions to start the game. If you can establish the run, get yourself out of the proverbial shadows of your own goalpost.
37 yards on the punt. Burkhalter gives it off. Xavier Love get up near the 10-yard line. The ball came loose at the end of that play.
Ooh.
How disastrous that could have gone.
Man.
You know, turnovers was a problem last week for them.
They were. And again, you know, it's just a curious game. Love looked good in spots in that game, had some flashes, had some nice runs. And yet the score ended up 48-13. It was just a very, very odd second half in that game. And give McGill all the credit, though. They took it to him.
Justin LeJesse checks in the backfield for the Toros as Love heads to the sideline. 2nd and 8. Jesse comes back in now. Off to the left of Burkhalter, and he'll take it, tries to cut it up the middle, and tough sledding inside.
John Davis. If they'd had the pass call in, they would have had something.
John Davis in the tackle. He had a big game last week. Had 1 sack and 2 tackles for a loss for the Trojans. Jesse, a senior. And picks up 1 on that play. So 3rd and 7 for the 9. Boy, you got to be careful back here. You get such a team known for great defense in the Trojans. And Spanish Fort backed up deep here on 3rd down. Burkhalter looking to pull it down. He did that last week with effectiveness, and he's going to be short of the first down here. Again, that's John Davis over there to make the stop, and Spanish Fort will punt for the 2nd time. And you know, we saw Daphne's defense last year, and we were so impressed with them, and impressive on the first 2 drives as well here.
Yeah, it's a different crew. You know, they've got Williams back, but a lot of that front 7 is replenished, but they're playing well. They played well a week ago, and they're playing well again so far tonight. They're being aggressive too, Jim.
Ryan Duff right from his own goal line. better punt this time. C.J. Young will let it roll toward the sideline, but still Daphne's going to have a pretty good field position at the Toro 47.
I mean, wind's got to be a factor here. We've got storms around us, none right here, right now.
Right now.
What a great shot. What a great shot.
Yeah, beautiful, right? But that's beautiful because you've got stormy skies giving you that bright color.
All right, Andy Citron, Injury Attorneys Friday Night Rivals is brought to you by that guy.
He wins every Friday.
Andy.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
That's the word.
And Saturday and Sunday.
Works on the weekends too. See? So call Andy 251-888-8888. And welcome him being a part of high school. He was watching the game last Friday night. It was a joke.
Andy.
Now Trent Battle rolls out with time, fires across the middle, able to get that one complete. Malik McLean, sophomore, 6'5", 195 sophomore with his first catch of the season. You noticed even when we saw Daphne walking out for warm-ups, number one grabbed your attention.
Yeah, he did. He did, and he finds him here. See the big target, middle of the field? That's a best friend for a quarterback rolling one way.
Picks up 4. Pogue, the senior, in running back. It looked like they were going to give it to him, and then the Pope thought he was going to take it. Battle thought he was going to pull it, and I think McLean also thought it was going to be a run as well because he wasn't looking for that pass over the middle.
Yeah, McLean.
I think they called that an RPO, run pass option.
Yeah.
Good looking.
Only the quarterback knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, the one didn't know because his head wasn't even turned around yet. So
I said only the quarterback.
Just a timing issue, though.
Yeah, it wasn't even in his vicinity. So, yeah, they've got to execute that a little bit better, and I think they'll get there.
3rd and 6. Daphne with great field position on both possessions here to open the game. Couldn't take advantage of the first one that started at the 43. This one started at the 47 of the Toros. Flipped out of the far side. Able to get that one up complete, but is going to be losing a yard on the play.
Yeah, so far you got to be impressed with Spanish Fort defense. I mean, they are defending the proverbial every blade of grass right now.
They are, Vic, because everything that Daphne's doing so far has been wide. But they've been trying to not stretch the field downfield as much as just sideline to sideline, and Spanish Fort's been able to be there.
Sure.
C.J. Young had that catch, had 10 receptions last week. 10 of the 14 completions for Battle, and now Guajardo again on the kick. Footed kick, angles this one to the sideline, not as deep as the last one. The 15-yard line. And so Spanish Fort again deep in their own end to start this drive halfway through the opening quarter. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett.
Officials timeout.
Tara Reeves on the sideline. Jared Kihas in the truck, and we'll have our first heat timeout here.
I need it, brother.
The opening course, nice here tonight. Ford always has 66. They got the AC set on the box here, Vic Lockett. You shouldn't be sweating.
I'm hot in October.
Scoreless here on our high school football game of the week tonight here on UTV 44. Here on the Andy Citron Injury Attorneys Friday Night Rivals game tonight. Rivalry, Spanish Fort and Daphne. This is a big, big rivalry over here because we said Spanish Fort has won 5 of the 6 contests in this rivalry.
Nobody dazzling the other offensively just yet. In case you just now coming to the game, you haven't missed many fireworks, that's for sure.
Buckhalter tried to go deep in his first play, but ever since then, everything's just kind of been in the middle, and they're trying to fill each other out. 3 straight passes, and they were out of there.
How about Murphy with a 3-0 lead on McGill in the first quarter? Kicking on the inside with a flag up on the far side. Yes. Ronnie Cleveland had 5 solo tackles for the Trojans last week, came in to make that stop.
Murphy up on McGill. Do I dare call it the pepper spray bowl?
Well, you just did.
So they
just did.
They won't be doing that again, I don't think.
You heard Sheldon Lehman not playing in that game, Vic Lockett.
I did hear that. They're going with their number 2.
Dallas Daphne, who was started at wide receiver. Motion against the Toros.
And if you're truly a dynasty, there's going to be Sundays, Saturdays, and Friday nights like that.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
That's why you better have those backups ready to go.
You got it. Well, even Ben Blackman was remarking about just how well McGill was coached.
Sure.
In that opener. So that team usually is ready for, you know, they've got their provisions ready.
Absolutely.
So backed up to the 10. Burkholder again with the give, and this time on the right side. They're going to be up close to a first down all the way up to the 23-yard line. Biggest play of the night for the Toros is Xavier Love there on the carry. Jackson Burkholder, junior quarterback for the Toros. Tell us more, Tara Reeves.
Well, physically, he's what you want, 6'5", athletic. But I spoke with David Morris at QB Country, who works with him day in and day out. And he says he has some of those intangibles, poise, confidence, and he's committed to doing whatever it takes to get his team on top. And I think that's why we see him carry the ball so frequently. He's not scared. He doesn't see open guys.
Our first down of the game. Now there's a flag. Ooh, it's going to be the first down of the game.
Maybe you need to hold that thought, huh? May not very well. I'm not sending him back as he look over in that direction and see what it is.
Xavier Love, the junior.
Dead ball, personal foul on the offense. 15-yard penalty, the first down.
Looks like an offensive lineman's coming out, so that might that'll solve the mystery who's involved. I was just going to compliment the offensive line on a nice job of blocking up front to give Love a chance to get to the second level.
Yeah, okay, they're getting the chain game to move back. I was thinking what's going on. So that was a first down penalty.
Yep. Right.
So we repeat first down, take away the first down gain in the game.
But now be 1st and 15. No, first and 10. First and 10. Yeah, they back them up 15. First and 10. Set up the screen. Get it to Love, and Love up the middle, and he's got room to the outside. Xavier Love into Daphne territory inside the 40. Christian Williams finally comes from behind to bring him down.
Perfect execution of the middle screen.
From the 17, it was Finn Heath, actually.
No Nick Saban rule call right there. We're linemen downfield because they executed it perfectly. Didn't get him downfield. He gets in the open field, and if it wasn't for the Alabama committee, he may be still running and score a touchdown.
62 yards on the pickup.
Get us the damn ball!
The coach getting on the son, the ball boy. I think the son is getting on the son, the ball boy. Want to get the ball in sooner.
How about that intensity?
Everybody's got a job to do.
Okay.
Open mic tonight, huh?
Yeah, it looks like open mic night on the sideline. Talking to his son, Cates.
At the 20, Burkhalter fires. That one was just a little bit behind, but still it'll be grabbed and gain of a couple as pressure was coming. Hamilton Baker, the junior linebacker, was in there.
Yeah, I'd like to see offenses in our league do that more often. A lot of times these corners give them so much cushion.
Yep.
Just stand up, throw the football, and
Yep.
you got 5 at least.
And you got your brother, 6'4", 200, Christian Burkhalter there with the reception.
Yeah, you know.
Same thing you do in the backyard, right?
Exactly. That's what they looked a little bit like last week a few times. So you've got a connection. Make it work.
Pickup of 3. Given a stutter step. Love with the carry.
That's all Love right there, showing that Daphne defense no love, because he was stopped dead to rights, deep in the backfield. He makes a pirouette and gets upfield for a positive gain.
Keep an eye on this defense, Vic, and see if you see this Daphne defensive line has got a if they've got the habit of trying to cheat a little bit, slice through the gaps. They did a lot of that last year.
Okay. They got Atlas Heron over there coaching them now, so.
Looking to the end zone. Burkhalter fires that one incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down.
You know, and Tara talked about the coaching changing. You know, Atlas was here for Spanish Fort last year. Now he's over there with Daphne, so he's very familiar.
He was Kenny's teammate at Daphne, his teammate at Alabama. He actually was playing arena football in Phoenix when Kenny was playing with the Cardinals out there. So
wow.
Been all around here. So
think about some connections.
Matt Quinn.
It was only a matter of time they were going to reconnect.
This one will be a 30-yard attempt. And Matt Quinn gets that one nearly to the Malbus exit, and it's good. And Spanish Fort takes the lead 3-0. Matt Quinn made an 18-yarder at the Horn last year to beat the Toros, and he puts his team on top to beat the Trojans and puts his team on top here 3-0 with 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. Spanish Fort, the first points of the game, and there's the Raise the Roof fan cam brought to you by Metal Roofing Center and Supply. Always a good crowd here at Spanish Fort. It's looking right down in front of us. Trying to look and see Bobby Totes, general manager of UTV 44. I see him down in front of us. I try to see him on the screen. He's got his, oh yeah, he's the one in the white visor, if you can see that right there on the
120, huh? Big eyes on us tonight, huh?
Jim Bibby from the Wharf down in Orange Beach checking in, watching the game tonight on UTV 44. Jim Bibby, former referee, and now watching the games here on Friday nights.
Stress-free.
Matt Quinn, quick high kick to the middle of the field, and that one nearly dropped, and he is, and Daphne wasn't really sure who was going to jump on that one. Matt Quinn just poops that one up high, and Daphne will have it at the 28 as they fell on that one. Our Andy Citron Injury Attorneys, Friday Night Rivals, brought to you by Bishop State Community College, a great place to start, and for being a part of high school football again tonight here on UTV 44. Let's see Trent Battle, the sophomore, back out here, quarterback for the Trojans. Jay Pope in behind. Malik McLean, the big sophomore, in the slot. Darius Daniels making Darius Johnson to the outside, and C.J. Young and Dante Lee up to the top of your screen. Battle on the keeper to the outside, and now he decides to flip it off and got it off to C.J. Young, his favorite target. He'll pick up about 9.
Gus Malzahn special there.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that Nick Marshall out there? He was effective with that play.
By former Alabama player coach, stealing that from the Auburn handbook.
Yep. It can be effective.
I tell you what, I would hate to be out here on the edge and a quarterback does that to me. I mean, that is almost indefensible.
Pickup of 9, and that one into the first down as they come back to Lee, this time on this side of the field. Lee, 5'8", 185-pound senior, and got the catch here tonight and picks up 5 and a first down. Did pick up 5, and it is a first down. See maybe a little hint of some rhythm here on offense for Daphne in this drive after the first couple of plays. And Bo goes down and lost the football, recovered by the Toros. Luke DeWeese falls on the football.
Well, I tell you what, if this was the NFL, they'd look at that again, and I think he was fouled down when that ball popped out.
Well, Luke DeWeese
to see right here.
Yeah, we'll be able to tell. Jay Pogue. That ball's coming
he's out.
They block it.
You're right.
Good job. Carlos Johnson, I think, was the one who was ripping it out of there, and Luke DeWeese falls on it. And our first turnover here tonight.
Spanish Fort is flipping the script from last week. They're being fortunate enough to get the turnover, and let's see if they can make a score out of it.
Good field position at the Trojan 43. Burkhalter fires it out to the far side and upended right away. Great open field tackle by Christian Williams, and Bama fans will like to see that.
Yeah,
Christian
he's making his name known right immediately.
Oh, he blocked a PAT last week the fourth quarter to keep that game 13-13. Number 7 on the A-list from Alabama.com as far as the top players in the state of Alabama. Coming to the near side. Love trying to turn the corner and upended over there. Third down coming up here for the Toros. Kay Gorowski over on the stop for Daphne. Tough, Vic, when you're a great corner like this at the high school level, like Christian Williams. I mean, you don't get a chance to make a lot of plays because teams just
go away from you.
They just don't look at you all night long, right?
Yeah, but he gets a play coming to him. He wants to make the most of it and make sure Jim Cox call his name and say, "I'm here. Look at me, big man."
Spanish Ford's going to take a timeout. 3rd and 4 coming up from the Trojan 37.
About a couple of programs and teams that know a lot about the other one. I mean, that maybe 4 miles separate, you know, the campuses. Coaching staffs that have a little interchangeable with them.
Yep.
As far as on the coaching staffs, you've got people who've been at one school now at the other. We've talked about some of that. And these kids, too, who have been playing against each other in park ball. And a lot of these young
with
guys,
each other in park ball, and then they split up.
Exactly. So you've got young guys maybe have moved a mile or two along the way and have left one district and gone to another. So
clearly the 2 top programs over here in Baldwin County, so I like to call it the Battle of Baldwin County.
It truly has been for the most part in the last 10 years.
Let's go down to Tara again on the sidelines. Tara.
Guys, as you know, Spanish Fort has struggled defensively, giving up 117 points the past 2 games. So Coach Blackman and defensive coordinator Coach Stoniker got together and said, we need to really give these guys some incentives to get the ball in our hands. So they came up with this turnover cape that Luke is wearing. One of the moms. I'll be right back.
Xavier right up the middle. Touchdown, Toros, 37 yards.
I mean, that resembled the Red Sea parting out of the Bible. I mean, it was nobody touched. No, the only one touched him is his teammates.
I've read the Bible. I wasn't there when it happened. Look at the blocking up front, Jim. You know, that play was over as it was starting.
At the point of attack.
Yep.
Just the way Coach drew it up.
Ben Blackman took a timeout there. Comes out of the timeout with that one on 3rd and 4. And so here's Matt Quinn going to try to make it a 10-0 Toro lead. And does. And we will go to break. 1:11 to go. The Toros take advantage of the turnover. That run might deserve a cape. Love as the Toros on top 10-0 late in the first. Spanish Fort jumps out to a 10-0 lead after they take advantage of that turnover. And, you know, Ben Blackman said on the pregame show, talking about the loss last week, McGill, he said, just can't turn the ball over. Just can't turn the ball over. And you see it right there.
Yeah.
Takes 5 plays.
Well, we talked about it last week, and it's more than a cliche. It really is true.
It was a little tough to understand what he was saying because he was chewing on nails when we were talking to him.
Spitting nails.
About it, 45 minutes before kickoff. Ben was ready. Now we're seeing maybe his team was ready too.
Wow. Matt Quinn angles this one to the corner, and it goes out of bounds at the 6, so that'll be a flag.
Just like a golf shot, Jim. He nailed it, and it died in this wind. We still have. Look at that.
Yep.
If you look at the flagpole and the flag at half mast, it is really whipping on your screen from left to right.
Yeah, coming out of the south, and he was kicking right into it. And
good news, looking at radar right now, doesn't look like we've got anything that's going to challenge us.
Ball will be placed on the 35, first down.
Daphne has it at the 35-yard line. We got.
Yeah, Dan, I think you're the reason that we get weather on the news every 3 minutes. You've been watching your phone and that radar pretty closely. Yeah. I promise I'll get you home tonight if anything comes up.
I'm a fragile thing.
Battle zips it out to the far side. Flag as he goes off to C.J. Young, but there's a flag Or actually, it was Dante Lee up on the far side. I think that was going to go against Daphne.
Yeah, I would imagine the tight end probably was covered up and somebody released.
I think you're right. How is it, Vic, that you see it at the highest level with, you know, a not even motion penalty, but just in lining up? How
illegal formation
that's
on
not
the offense.
Drilled in.
5-yard penalty.
You just can't do
Replay
that.
first
You
down.
know, sometimes, you know, it's, you know, the tight end's getting the call and he just may miss it left or right. And, you know, he goes to the right and he's supposed to go to the left.
Got it.
Go to the left and he's supposed to go to the right.
Yep, then he's covered up or uncovered.
Yep, throws it off.
1st and 15 now. Toros battle on the keeper, trying to turn the corner. Wow, got a great block and set it up beautifully as he's across midfield. Battle all the way down to the 30, and a late flag dropped at the 34-yard line. What a great block by Jay Pogue, and he battled, did a great job just to delay a little bit to allow his running back to come here and watch the block.
Number 7, Ryan Duff, really doesn't react until it's too late. I'm not exactly sure where his eyes were, but Battle was able to take it inside the linebacker, Jim, and really with no resistance. Duff just reacted late.
Very good effort on that group.
Let's listen here.
Holding on the offense.
Wow.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
Now, I know the Daphne
First
fans
down.
are saying, okay, we can't win. We've had, 4 or 5 penalties on us.
Yeah,
none on Spanish Fort.
Still going to get the first down. The holding was on the far sideline right at the end of the play, so a spot foul, so they still get the first down all the way up to the 44. Now this one fired over the head and out of bounds, trying to come to Young.
And that may have been a live ball if it stayed in bounds the way the receiver reacted.
Also, that might have been a nice play because Lee was getting a nice crackback block, and Young was going to have some room to run if the pass was down at, you know, number level.
Some folks checking and watching the game. Pat Ivy, graduate of Daphne High School, watching the game down in Orange Beach tonight, pulling for his Trojans. Give to Pogue, maybe back to the line of scrimmage on 2nd and 10. Let's see if the Trojans decide to snap one here or let this clock run out in the first quarter with 3rd and 10 coming up, and I think they'll do just that. Of course, you know, you got the wind at your back here, 3rd and 10 thing, put it in the air, but they're going to let it run out. And
also, they got that great field goal kicker. You'd rather have kicking it this way than that way.
We have played one here in Spanish Fort on the Andy Citron Injury Attorneys Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week. That long touchdown run by Xavier Love has the Toros on top, 10-0 through 1. Spanish Fort fans riled up here tonight. Great atmosphere as always on the hill. 3rd and 10 for the Trojans. Battle to set up the screen. Comes back to the inside as they come to Christian Williams, get him the ball offensively, and he's stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage.
Well defended there by Spanish Fort. They recognize immediately. They let him go. We go over there with you.
Yeah, we were talking about, you know, great athlete and how to use him, when to use him. They thought this is critical. We're now in Spanish Fort territory, and we're going to see if he can't wiggle his way for 10 yards. They gave it a shot. Spanish Fort was ready.
And you know those coaches on the Spanish Fort side are somebody's assigned to just let him know his
yelling his name. Here's 4.
Yeah, 4 comes on the field. So
yes.
Diego Guajardo on to punt. Abrams Drain stands back at the 10. Into the stiff breeze, and that one. Great punt again is going to roll out of bounds at about the 7-8 line. They mark it. So a 35-yard punt. Spanish Fort, they won 13 straight region games at home. Who was the last team to beat them here in the region? Got to tell you, the trivia's been spectacular the first 2 weeks.
I think I got this one.
Okay, Vic Lockett, we'll hear in the second half.
Who does the trivia?
The guy that just broke his arm, patting himself on the back.
The staff has come up with great trivia questions so
have
far.
to get that arm looked at, I think.
We'll get an orthopedic in here.
Yeah.
Great.
AOC might be treating me on Wednesday night just to see how the rotator cuff's doing. Burkhalter, trouble in the backfield, and Burkhalter, wow, lucky to keep that one from being worse than it even was. They'll lose 5 all the way back to the 2.
Yeah, I think he was getting ready to give it off to the back, and the back just sort of lost his foot in there. He just took a
seat. No, he got run into by
collided.
his own player coming in motion there.
Yeah, a collision in the back. You talk about all the timing, too, and saw last night in a college game with a snap where the guy in motion got hit in the butt, and that was a big problem, as you can imagine.
I don't know why that doesn't happen more often.
I know.
Love in the backfield. They give it to him, and he tries to dance up the middle, and he's driven back. Ronnie Cleveland had a fumble recovery last week, and the senior linebacker comes up to make the stop there for the Trojans. And 3rd and long, back deep, pinned up are the Toros, so maybe a chance for Daphne flip the field here and get some real good field position with a stop.
And I like what I see out of the Trojans. They're still flying around. They're still showing a lot of enthusiasm defensively. The 10-0 score hasn't taken them into the tank or anything like that. And they've got, like you said, Jim, a real opportunity to flip the field right now.
3rd and 11. Burkhalter. They rush 3, fire over the middle, incomplete. Goes off the hands of.
Wow, I thought that kid was going to pull that one down.
Yeah,
he zipped it.
Did as well. So now, is there a flag? The official. Oh, there is a flag over here on the near sideline. 12 men on the field. Looks like for.
Oh, and then ineligible
Spanish
downfield?
No. I think they were saying. I think they might have had too many men, maybe. Let's see.
Ineligible man downfield.
Nope. Good job, Nick Lockett.
On the offense. Penalty is declined.
I think that's the old Nick Saban rule, lineman downfield on the pass.
Yep. Not sure what he was doing downfield on that pass.
Well,
he was
he
fast.
held it a little bit.
He was fast to get downfield.
Yeah.
So now Ryan Duff will punt from his own end zone.
That was not a failed screen.
And
probably an error with that RPO stuff.
C.J. Young with a low line drive kick. Young hustles back and takes it to the 45, drifts back toward midfield, and now gets tripped up, and he's up to about the 37-yard line. But great field position here for the Daphne Trojans. And let's go down to Tara again for another Educator Spotlight, brought to you by Coastal Alabama Community College.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm with Kat, I'm with Lily, and I'm with Ryan, all a part of Daphne High School's Project Outreach. I'm going to start with Kat. Kat, what is Project Outreach for those who are unfamiliar?
So Project Outreach is a club, and we work with students with disabilities in our school and our community. We really work to build friendships, relationships between them and their non-disabled peers at our school, really functioning under the idea that, you know, regardless of our abilities, we're more alike than we are different, and everybody has a place at our school. So that's kind of what we try to carry out.
So important. And then Lily, you're going to talk about some of the volunteer opportunities for us.
So this club is a really great opportunity to get connected with the special education kids in your community. This summer I actually volunteered at the American Autism and Rehab Center, and it was just such a fun opportunity. I loved it so much. I'm definitely going to do it every single year.
And then Ryan, you're going to tell us kind of at the school what you guys do.
Well, basically, we do pretty much lunch bunch. We do where they come with us and sit. We sit with them and eat lunch, and then we do like ice cream socials. We do basically everything you could think about during school. We do with them, and like today we had a pep rally, brought them with us. They sat with us.
And then lastly, I'm going to come back to Kat really quickly. What have you sort of gotten out of working with Project Outreach?
Well, you know, it's amazing how, you know, when you build community in your school, it changes. It brings good vibes. It helps us all feel like we're part of a family. And it's so special to see students who maybe before were a little kind of marginalized or who kind of kept to themselves because they're a little different. And now they really feel more like a part of the student body, like a part of our school. And that's what we want. You know, we want to be a family at Daphne. So it's nice to be a part of making that happen.
And then lastly, I hate to put you on the spot, Lily. You guys can both answer this together. Ryan, what would you say to someone who's maybe on the fence about volunteering with Project Outreach?
I think you really should. You can make so many great relationships, and you just create so many just great memories, and it's something you won't ever forget.
Yeah, I agree with her. The memories are the best thing. Like, they'll stay with you forever in your life.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Tara.
Okay, so we had a 27-yard pass completion from Trent Battle down to C.J. Young. That set up first down, and then we had Spanish Fort guilty of encroachment. Got first and goal from down to the 7.
Red ball foul. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense.
Wow, man.
15-yard penalty. It'll be second down.
So at the end of that play, the ball came loose, and let's see what happens here.
That?
Was
that enough?
Something must have been something said.
Maybe.
Had to
be
be something that was said to draw a penalty there. Or did he start to take his helmet off? Was that it?
No, I think it might have just been the what you would call a push. Wasn't much to that, but anyway, I'm not down there.
Second and goal now from the 22. Battle on the keeper, trying to get to the edge, and a great open field tackle. DJ James going to Mississippi State.
And he's showing you why right there. Get rid of the blocker and make a tackle.
That was Mike Miller, number 3, the 3-year starter, makes the stop.
Yeah, we've been calling his name a long time. Look at Miller from the safety spot. Good play.
Very good play.
Wow, 3rd and goal from the 26.
Man,
you do have a great kicker. He made 2 40-yarders last week.
He's got to be great from this spot.
Yeah, but boy, this is 3rd down here. But you're not thinking field goal when you got a 1st and goal down there.
There's folks at Bama won't make that kick.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Battle drops back down to the near side, looking to put this one up for Johnson, and it's incomplete. Darius Johnson may have done a good job knocking that one away. He was trying to make the catch, but it looked like that had a chance to be picked off again. Going into that breeze, the ball kind of hung up there.
Yeah, it's like you're throwing it and kicking it almost into a net. It just kind of comes straight down, and Johnson does play a little defense right here.
Well, I like the call. Single coverage over there, just 50-50 ball, and see whose man is tougher.
Yeah, he almost came down with it.
He almost did. I thought it was going to be a touchdown.
Cameron Williams will hold. Guajardo will try this one from 43. Left-footed kicker into a big wind. And he'll try to get the Trojans on the board. He was 3 of 3 last week. And that one no good.
Pushed distance.
Pushed it wide right.
Plenty of distance.
Oh, boy, if you're Daphne, you are kicking yourselves 1st and goal and to come away with no points there, and then you have the penalty that really backs you up.
I had insult, they backed back.
They backed, yeah. I think it goes into, maybe a break ago I was talking about how these teams really know each other. And there's a very close relationship without it being close, if you know what I'm saying.
Sure.
And there's a lot of high energy in a game like this, and I think some of that chit-chat got going, and somebody's going to get flagged, and it ended up to be Daphne in that case, and that cost him.
Burkhalter will bring Love back in behind him. He's got the lone touchdown in the game and takes it on the left side, and he'll push the pile ahead. Push on that left side.
Not a real big guy, 5'10", 165, keeping his legs moving there. And Jim pointed out, moving the pile. That's embarrassing there.
Malachi Gatewood helping to tackle there. Pickup of 7 on 1st down. More folks checking in, watching the game tonight. Kyle Smith watching the game in Fairhope tonight. Checking in. Love to hear who's watching. Big game to get you ready for start of college football weekend, and change of direction here by Love, and watch out. He's got speed. Love, 73 yards, touchdown Toros with no flags.
Tell you what, that started out like it was going to be a bit of a disaster there. He kind of fumbled the handoff, and a little bit of Le'Veon Bell there after things started settling out with the blocks. He just found that Red Sea again party. Take a look at it. Fumbling right there. Makes a turn and oh, there's nobody here.
And the play got a little off timing because of the bobbled snap there by Burkhalter.
And I think that helped set up the blocks.
37 and now 73-yard touchdown runs here.
The aggressiveness of Daphne will occasionally take him out of place too, because Ronnie Cleveland, the linebacker, really wasn't back as a linebacker. He had crossed the line of scrimmage.
Probably was in a run blitz.
And once he broke past the line of scrimmage, Love, where Cleveland would have been, he wasn't, and off he goes.
DB spread out.
Carson Peak, the long snapper. Luke DeWeese to hold, and Matt Quinn puts that one almost to Busby Road. The Spanish Fort local geography knowledge here. 17-0 for the Toros.
Like a human atlas.
Boy, first and goal.
Yep.
For Daphne, they come away with nothing, and then Spanish Fort. I mean, that's a
come away with 7.
I mean, that's a 10 or 14-point swing that we just saw there. And Spanish Fort on top 17-0 here as we approach the halfway point. Quarter number 2.
Yeah, these big plays have just really turned this football game lopsided.
Yeah, and only one team has really been able to find a run game. And that's the team that threw it the first 3 snaps they had it.
Yeah, you're right.
But eventually they have found that they can block up front, and when they do, Love, who's got the skill, to take it a long way. Yeah, obviously, Daphne down 17, but they would love to try and somehow find a run game where they're not putting it in the air over and over again.
17-0 here. Some scores to pass along. McGill Tulin leads Murphy 7-3. Saraland 30-0 up over BC Rain. 7-7 between UMS Wright and Mobile Christian. Baker trailing Theodore 7-0. Matt Quinn gets this one high and into the end zone using the wind behind him. As we say that, the wind dies down just a touch here out of the south.
What Mobile Christian was able to do in the first half of play, what St. Paul's was unable to do in
the whole game,
the entire game against UMS Wright, and that's score any points.
Yeah, UMS top team in 4A. Mobile Christian ranked number 2, I believe, in 3A.
Yep, we're good. We did a playoff game with theirs a couple of years back, and we've got some players.
Back when we did playoff games, we would have done it live, but the state doesn't allow us to do them live, so that's why we can't.
Well, can you imagine? Can you imagine the viewership?
You can email Steve Savory, says if you'd like to comment on it. Battle gives it a Jay Pogue, and boy.
Well, Dan, they are trying to attempt to set up a little bit of a run.
Yeah, they are.
Right there.
Yeah, they are, and they would love nothing better than to set up. So this is a big defensive line.
Carlos Johnson, yeah.
They've got a lot of big guys up front, and I thought they played relatively well in many of the snaps against McGill. They had some blown assignments.
Well, big plays there.
Big plays.
Ate them up, you know, and as you were talking, I was thinking maybe Spanish Fort did the pass to set up the run. Could have been the philosophy for tonight.
You may be right.
2nd and 10. Battle gives it to Bogan again. Nothing doing there. And, of course, Battle, the sophomore, starting at quarterback because senior quarterback Gage Bonner broke his finger, and Battle got thrown into starting duty. Now, he'd taken a lot of reps with the ones in spring practice of those things, so it's not totally foreign to him, but big challenge for a sophomore here in this tough 6A region. We'll take a timeout halfway through quarter number 2. 17-0 Spanish Fort on top of Daphne here on UTV 44. Looking across the field at the Daphne student section, and they raise the roof fan cam from Metal Roofing Center. 3rd and 10. Battle fires it to the near side, able to get that one complete to Dante Lee, but 3rd and 10, you'll give them that pass all night long if you're the defense, and now they'll bring up 4th down, and the punt team going to have to come on, you would think. Pickup of 8. And yes.
Yeah, not the time to gamble in this point of the game for sure. This game's still certainly well within reach of Daphne. Just got to keep playing and keep chopping at wood.
Daphne with just 85 yards. Thanks to our statistician David Sharp passing that along to me here. 85 yards total offense with 5 minutes to go in the first half. And now Diego Guajardo faked one last week, picked up 13, uses that rugby-style kick. I don't think it was a called fake. He just kind of decided that he could make it happen. Now he drops the snap, and Duff comes in, and now he's going to take off again. And he's going downfield, and he's going to have the first down. Wow. How about your athletic punter coming up with a first down? Drop the snap. Ryan Duff was going to come in and block the punt. And then he's running downfield, and you got a player from Spanish Fort who doesn't realize the punter's running after him.
I think what it reminded me of is when you see a quarterback take off when a defense is in man-to-man.
Sure.
So all the back, there were no eyes on the punter.
No.
And there was nothing but grass in front of him.
And he thought about for a second trying to reload and kick it, but he made a good decision to go ahead and scamper.
Yeah, second week in a row he's done that. That one was not a called play fake either. But I love the heads up and the awareness, and now Battle trying to get it to C.J. Young, who's going to lose a yard there on first down. Good.
You know, I
played
on that punt team, and that was my ticket to the game a lot of times. And I've heard the head coach tell the punter, if you see those guys take off and run, you just go ahead and pick up the first down. And I see the special team coach come right behind him and say, don't you ever do that.
Punt the ball.
Yes.
Oh, but it was a low snap, and it was dropped. It was going to be disastrous. Now they split Jay Pogue out to the near side. Battle going to keep it, trying to dance to the right side. Looked like he had a little something there, and then that gap quickly closed down. Sam Hoover, the senior linebacker for the Toros, able to come and make the stop.
Yeah, I thought he had something too there, Jim, but he started going lateral, and from our vantage point, it must have been a defender there to impede him from going vertical.
Yeah, you know, in fact, I think there were two defenders right there. Spanish Fort defense is holding up pretty well.
Well, they do always, have good fits, just sometimes, like last week, those big plays hurt them and turnovers.
3rd and 10 for the Trojans. Battle, and now looks like it's going to be maybe 3rd and 15 as they blow this one dead.
Well, the one time they threatened, we'll listen to the call.
Ball start on the offense. 5-yard penalty.
I'm starting to notice a trend here. Last year we did a couple of Daphne games, and they've gotten quite a few penalties, and that's just got to be cleaned up. I mean, it just has to be cleaned up.
Well, what I was going to remark on was the penalty that took them out of a goal line situation with the personal foul.
Sure.
That changed everything.
Yep.
10-0, but they were going in.
I can assure you that man there is going to get it cleaned up one way or the other.
3rd and 15. Battle pressure sets up the screen. It's high and incomplete as Pogue couldn't hold it. And
you see, that was the difference between Spanish Fort's execution of the middle
Same
screen
play.
and Daphne.
Yep. Yeah. Spanish Forts went for like 50 yards.
Sure.
Yeah.
This one wasn't even executed from the snap.
No, and he was backpedaling. He had a defender in his face.
Yeah. Carlos Johnson, all 280 pounds of him.
Yeah, Johnson.
That'll make you think twice.
Well, yeah, he was throwing from a shadow. So makes it tougher. He wasn't in the light.
Guajardo will punt, maybe. A long way to go on 4th and 15. Again, a low snap. Got to be careful knee doesn't go down there. And this one, not a good kick. And it was just the 32-yard line. 28-yard punt. And our Andy Citron Injury Attorneys Friday Night Rivals Game of the Week. Also brought to you by Greer's. Always since 1916. And thanks Greer's. And also by Fusakli's. Providing the crew with food here. They deserve it.
Now, those are my guys right there, the Foo guys.
Get here early, our crew. Get here early, work all day.
I'm talking about the chicken tenders, brother.
I know. They flock it. There you see Xavier Love, 9 carries, 155 yards, touchdowns of 37 and 73 yards, a big part of that.
What a half for him.
And now the Toros back at the 32, under 3 minutes to go, and they want to go up top down the far side and just overthrown. And bring up 2nd and 10 here for the Toros.
I had a feeling that was coming. I mean, they're in a spot on the field time less than 3 minutes to go in the half, and Burkhalter really hadn't been airing it out much.
Yep.
Because they were making some big plays on the run game.
Jesse in the backfield and good penetration.
Now that was good
Toros.
Daphne
Jamar
defense
Mason.
there. Penetration, good fits.
Yeah, Mason.
Edge was set.
We said
everything you want.
Another tackle for a loss. He had 4 of those last week. And also had 3 quarterback hurries. So he had a big game. John Davis there, 32, also had a big game last week. Had a sack and a couple tackles for a loss.
Yeah, they have a tendency to get across the line of scrimmage a lot like the Crew last year.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's schematically or the way they sell out.
I think it's schematically because we have seen a lot of run blitzes, and you brought it up during the break.
And sometimes
they're being out of position.
Out of position. That's how I think.
You.
Right. So Spanish Ford got some big plays from that.
3rd and 17. Burkhalter with a clean pocket fires and looking for some contact there.
Oh, that was Michael Jordan Ness trying to draw that foul.
Yeah.
Not on that one.
No, we're not going to give it to him yet.
So 3 and out.
And there again, Dan, it was a all-out blitz. But they didn't get there on the quarterback. But
that seems to be their personality.
Yeah, it is. Apparently so.
But I do think defensively, Jim, there's been times when, because of their aggressive play, they've taken themselves
out of the play. Yeah, you can do that.
So Duff to punt. Big high kick. C.J. Young has it go through his hands and tries to fall on it. It's weird. Covered by the Toros at the 15. Wow. Special teams, special teams, special teams.
That's why they call them special. First things first, you got to catch the football. And if you don't catch it, you've got to get on it.
Winstead.
I think that win was a factor, Dan.
The win
I think
was
indecision more than the.
No, I think the win was a factor, Jim, because he ends up. You always want to be deep enough where you don't have to backtrack.
Set your feet and catch the ball in front of you.
And he had to try. As it turned out, I think he was surprised how far it went because of the wind, Jim. He tried to catch it over his shoulder. Not an easy play for anybody.
Wow. That turns out to be a 70-yard pickup, if you will, for the Toros. And now Daphne's defense has really got to step up here.
On the ground now.
Jesse trying to bounce it to the outside, and good job there by Mason to get a hold of his leg, at least to slow him down.
You got a veteran, big, good offensive line for Spanish Fort. Coming into the season, they thought this was one of their strengths. You get a turnover like that, and you know, at least on first down, Jim, you're going to ask your offensive line to get you something.
Yep, you got 2 timeouts.
Yep.
Remaining. Daphne will get the ball to start the second half. Burkhalter looking for the fade for his brother in the corner of the end zone, and good work by Gorowski.
And he flags it away. He calls it incomplete.
Gave away about 4 inches on the play there.
Well, him and his brother, again, playing that backyard football, throwing up a 50-50 right here.
Yep.
Expecting his brother to just be tall and big, athletic player, but
good play.
The Daphne defender had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so you got 2 great athletes, matchup. You got Abrams Drain, Christian Williams matching up with him all night. You haven't seen the ball get his way much tonight.
Good point.
Yep. Abrams Drain committed to LSU, and this one just thrown in the dirt, and that's going to be intentional grounding. Whistled against Burkhalter.
Yeah, Burkhalter was trying to make a smart play, but he still should have got it at least to the line of scrimmage.
Look at an injured. I think that's John Davis. It is down for the Trojans.
Yeah, he saw the screen was completely
eaten up.
Yes, and he was abandoning the play, and he knew he needed to just throw it down to save the down and distance for the kicker. But he threw it right at his own feet, which probably is going to result in an intentional grounding.
Hope this young guy's okay. He's made some plays tonight.
Yeah, prayerfully he gets up and gets some power and get back in the football game. Coach Keen's out there to check on his player.
I think it's like a right shoulder issue.
Sure, he's got extreme concern. The weather isn't too humid, so it's not much of a factor, even though we got our heat timeouts going just because of the time of the month it is.
I think we've got humidity, Vic, but you know what? The breeze, the wind is kind of easing some of that. Yeah, it is. And, you know, we were worried all day about rain, storms and, more
super humidity.
Yeah, and maybe
100% humidity.
Lightning and that kind of stuff, and we have had none of that, and that's been great. And I think most of high school football along the coastline, if you can watch UTV 44, I think
intentional grounding on the offense, 5-yard penalty from the spot of the foul, the 4th down.
I think we've been loss of down as well.
Time to kick it.
Spanish Fort.
But I think on this particular Friday, we were worried it was going to be a washout for a lot of teams and a lot of games, and I don't think that's been the case.
I think Ben Blackman called that timeout just to have another conversation with Billy Pine, the referee. I think that's why he took that timeout, and I think Billy Pine is heading back out there as he's had enough of that.
Excuse me, Jim.
So more of our friends bring you our Andy Citron injury attorney rivals. Andy Citron attorney. You know, the Friday night game of the week here, brought to you by our friend Andy Citron. Metal Roofing Center and Supply, bringing you the Raise the Roof and the Fan Cam all season long here tonight. And proud to have him on UTV 44.
Andy would like to see you in his office Monday morning.
I mean, the viewers are calling Andy right now. They're calling 251-888-8888 after that horrible read I just did. They're calling. I was negligent on that. That was just terrible.
Let's play the next play. Forget that.
Yeah, thank you. You got to put that behind us.
Dan, I was going to ask you.
By the way, I called Andy and I'm on hold right now. But go ahead.
Have you ever had to sit through a lightning delay in your illustrious broadcast
we had
career?
Here. Yeah, we did one. We had a long one here on UTV 44 because I remember you
at Spanish Fort.
No,
right here.
Well, maybe, but you had plans after the game. Your son was in from out of town. And you were all set.
You probably had another show you had to do, Dan.
So, hey, let's take a look. Here's our region standings through as we head into region play. Just our overall standings. See Baldwin County, Daphne, and Saraland all 1-0, and then everybody else in this vaunted region fell last week.
Yeah.
And now region play starts this week. You might notice St. Paul's. You're like, St. Paul's? Yeah, if you hadn't noticed, St. Paul's bumped up to 6A, and now we're going to have another timeout. St. Paul's bumped up to 6A, so they're going to play in this region. So,
are you saying at some point we might have to unvaunt the region?
Well, I think it's early after 1 week.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't know what point you were making there.
Tell you what, while you guys were having that conversation, Coach Blackman was really upset there. They had another mental error and had to burn another timeout because they didn't have the right personnel on the field.
Another one of our proud sponsors here in the Andy Citron Injury Attorneys. Friday Night Rivals game of the week. Coastal Alabama Community College. See? Live for the next play.
There you go.
That's it.
You put that behind, you got to play the next play.
Thanks.
You get beat on one play, you won't get beat on the next one.
I don't know. I'd like to say, Vic, as a teammate of Jim's, that he got through that one smoothly, but he's getting some flack from the truck, so I'm not sure. Let's watch the play.
He will be in the principal's office on Monday for certain.
So a 46-yard attempt from Matt Quinn. It is still Matt Quinn, still Spanish Sports ball, right? So,
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Low snap. Quinn blocked again. Christian Williams, 2 in 2 weeks. He picks it up at the 50, and he's up to the 41-yard line with 48 seconds to go here in the first half.
Just what Daphne needed, but I could have swore he was offsides.
No flag.
I didn't see a flag.
Blocked a PAT to keep it tied at 13 last week. Snap was bobbing a little bit, boy, coming in off that right edge.
You know, and
textbook form too, right, Big Clocker?
And it might have been a special teams play earlier in the game where I thought Williams was offsides too.
I saw that as well, and I kind of filed that away. And this time he gets there and gets the block. Maybe he made it look too easy.
Maybe he's just that fast.
Nah, that was way too easy there. I'd like to get a replay if we can see the line of scrimmage.
All right, wow. So Daphne's defense rises to the occasion there.
Yeah, now what can the offense do with precious little time left?
They need a big play. They will get the ball to start the second half. Battle steps up, middle of the field, and lands Trojans incomplete. Dante Lee, it looked like that ball was going to be overthrown when he let it go.
Wind kicked it down, and it should have been caught.
And it goes right off Lee's hands. He had 2 catches last week.
Dan said a microburst came in and pushed it down.
Well, it did look like it looked like Lee wasn't expecting that ball to be where it ended up. A little bit behind him.
Man, as it turns out, that should have been 6. Though.
Yeah. At the bottom line, you got to look it in, guys. I hate to say that.
Zach Golson, the OC over there, is like, ooh, we had it drawn up.
Got to look the football in.
Yeah, they've had a tough time moving it, and that play should have resulted in 6.
Daphne has 2 timeouts remaining. Spanish Fort has none. Battle being pressured now. Chase all the way back to the 40. It fires that one incomplete. Good work by the sophomore quarterback there to keep that one alive, able to throw it away and save.
And he got it back
sack.
to the line of scrimmage.
He had a receiver over here near it too, yeah. And 3rd and 10 for the Toros here with 34 seconds. For the Trojans with 34 seconds left in the first half.
Maybe some halftime adjustments by the Daphne offense too, Jim and Vic. Maybe there's some things that they're going to see.
Going to have to.
Yeah, they really need. They need to move the ball better than they have so far in the first half.
3rd and 10. Battle. Steps up, no pressures. They only rushed 3, and now he fires it. Single coverage on the far side. He's got it complete at the 20-yard line, able to get it to Darius Johnson, his 2nd catch of the year, to the 20 and a pickup of 23.
Great throw into the wind, Jim, and also just a great decision on his end.
Flag back at the 50. Let's see.
He's got one-on-one over here, and he knows it, and he's thinking, hey, what do I have to lose, right?
Good job by Johnson to come back to the ball as well.
Johnson boxes out with the big body.
Yeah.
Man, that was a big play.
It was.
Could result in points considering the kicker they've got.
Yep, 22 seconds left and 2 timeouts for the Trojans.
I'll tell you what,
Billy Pond.
personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense, 15 yards, half the distance to go from the end of the run. First down.
How about that?
Finally goes in their favor.
Timeout, Daphne.
Daphne takes a timeout just inside. Ball just inside the 10 now, and this could be a huge opportunity that Daphne has to come away with points, and you're again not thinking 3.
No, you're not thinking 3, and especially after they tack on the extra yardage now. Like you said, they've got a timeout left, or they've got one more left
now. Yep.
And
but the way things are going, if they got in a 4th down situation, I think I would take the field goal.
Right, especially 4th and what, right?
Yeah. And you're gonna get the ball to start the second half.
Yeah, especially that.
Some kind of momentum going into the halftime. Get this Daphne Trojan team going.
And they got a kicker that could have put 3 on the board earlier. He was just wide right.
Battle, looking, fires, end zone, touchdown Trojans.
One-on-one coverage over there. And
Christian
Williams. I saw him, yeah. He knew he's in the ball game. They should have probably cheated that way, that safety, but they didn't. I was surprised.
Yeah, safety didn't come over. You're right, Vic. It was one-on-one, and that was that.
In fact, he traveled a long way before the quarterback released the football.
That's Williams going up against DJ James, a couple of SEC future players.
Exactly. Mississippi State versus Alabama, as things sit right now anyway, their commitments.
Harder to try.
That's how good they are.
PAT, big turn of events late in the first half here for the Daphne Trojans.
Just what the doctor ordered.
1st and goal for the Toros at the other end of the field after the fumble punt. And then Spanish Fort can't.
No, they kind of imploded themselves, and then you have Williams with the block.
Here it is, right there,
blocked field goal. He's thinking scoop and go, and here's the big play that keeps things alive. Plus the quarterback getting hit.
50-50 ball.
Yep, that sends him down close to the 10-yard line. You got a one-on-one. Yeah, it's an SEC corner, but you got an SEC athlete too.
And he wasn't going anywhere else but to 4 with that.
No.
He looked him the whole way. I mean, he didn't even think about a second read.
So here's kind of a funny story. So when Kenny King takes the job at Daphne, he moves Williams from offense over to defense. He runs into that young man, Christian Williams' grandmother, at Walmart in Daphne.
Right.
And Granny says, she's not real happy about moving him on the other side of the football. She wanted him on offense, and Kenny King, being the gentleman that he is, we know him. He said, "Ma'am, if you'll give me a little time, we'll just see how this is gonna turn out." And now
got him a free education so far.
Exactly.
Same thing happened years ago. This is going to show us that we've been doing this for a while, but there's a young guy who's no longer a young guy, probably 12 years in the NFL now.
This isn't a Joe Namath story. We're doing his games.
Captain Munnerlyn.
Yeah.
And Captain wanted to watch the kick here.
High and to the 2. And now a late flag as there's some pushing and shoving kind of away from the play.
Yeah, this is a neighborhood brawl right here.
The intensity just got ratcheted up because it's a game again. Yeah, Captain Munnerlyn, you're right.
Yeah, Murphy and Ron Lee, and he was not pleased at all when Lee made the decision to put. He said, "You're going to play college and maybe make some money because of this." And it turned out, like I said, maybe 12 years now in the NFL.
Yep. Great career in the NFL. Comes back to the community a whole bunch as well. But yeah,
great kid.
I think, of course, if you're Kenny King and you see the best athlete on the field.
Below the waist on the kicking team.
Wow.
Be 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Get a free play here. Oh, no.
We got a second.
Still got 7 seconds. Okay.
Yeah, bumps it up to the 39. Yeah, but if you're Kenny King, you're new to the job, and you see number 4 out on the practice field, you're like, I'm a defensive guy. I'm gonna have you on this side. I'm gonna have you on this side of the ball, young man.
He knows what wins championships.
Yeah, and of course, when you need him to do what he just did, he's available.
Yep. And Burkhalter will just take a timeout. Here, and Tara will take her 4.4 speed that she has to catch Ben Blackman
in heels
as he heads toward the Spanish Fort locker room, but he's down on the field, and let's check in with Tara.
Coach, drastic difference from last week to this week defensively, putting pressure on the Trojans, forced a turnover that led to a touchdown. What has been the key to really turning up the intensity tonight?
It's just been our effort and our intensity, but we got to finish. I mean, it's going to be a 4-quarter game. We know that. Our kids got to play. We gave them a cheap one right there at the end, and we got to finish.
Offensively, all you need is Love. Xavier Love already over 150 yards rushing. Talk about the impact he's had tonight.
He's ran the ball well. He's made some good cuts and ran the ball real well. Our offensive line's doing a really good job blocking up front.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, his intensity is still there.
Oh, yes. It's always simmering.
Yeah.
But it's on a full boil.
Yeah. Tonight, Coach Blackman is into it.
So our player of the game, we'll give you 3 of them at the end of tonight's game. Last week, it was Sheldon Lehman, who was dang near perfect last week and led the McGill-Tulane Yellow Jackets to win over Spanish Fort here. Senior quarterback going to Memphis, and big things expected out of him all season long, Dan Brennan.
Yeah, this was an unlikely 3rd down conversion right there, but that was a lot of athletic skill. He also lunged for a touchdown with a little help from the offensive line. He threw for a couple of scores, including one that was over 60 yards. That's a confident, skilled high school quarterback.
Yeah, McGill missing him a little bit tonight. It's 7-3. They lead Murphy in the battle for the cannon. He injured groin, not playing tonight. That news broke late this afternoon, and so he's not playing. But we'll give you 3. We're going to give you Xavier Love and 2 others to vote for on the player of the game
More than likely.
at the end of tonight's game. Halftime here, Spanish Fort leads 17-7, but Daphne able to get some momentum late in the half with a score, and they'll get the ball to open things up. We'll hear from the bands coming up after this. Spanish Fort with a 17-7 lead here at the half. Daphne with that late score to close the gap and maybe some momentum as they'll get the ball back to start the second half. Band's not playing tonight. A special ceremony here down on the field at halftime at Spanish Fort. Let's go check in.
College All-American and played for Auburn in the national championship game, and he also led the Toros to their first ever state championship in football. Reese Gibbs Moose. Brett was a 2009 graduate of Spanish High School when he played football and ran track. He was voted All-County in football from 2005 to 2009 and became the school's first ever 1,000-yard rusher. He was also a member of the first playoff team in school history. In track, he was a member of the school's first state championship in 2009. He was also a state champion in the 400-meter and the 4x4 meter relay. He was also a 400-meter state runner-up in 2007. He was voted All-County in track each year from 2005 to 2009. Brett Blink. Barbara and Jared and Mike Myrick. Barbara and Mike Myrick dedicated service to Spanish High School from 2005 to 2010. They were charter members of the school's first all-sport booster club and served as a football and baseball boosters, where Barbara was secretary and Mike was the president. Barbara and Mike were integral part of the Toro Athletics, leading the charge in helping raise funds for our programs and assisting with various projects, including the building of the concession stands, batting cages, baseball fields, and helping to establish the reserve seating that booster members enjoy to this day. The Knights also helped create the Friday prayer breakfast that players partaking each morning on game days. Barbara and Mike Myrick. Joey Myrick. Joey Myrick is a 2009 graduate of Spanish High School where he participated in baseball and football. While playing baseball for the Toros, Joey set multiple school records, including most home runs, most triples, most wins for a pitcher. He was nominated as a Rotary Club Player of the Month and also won Press Register Player of the Week honors. He was voted as a Gulf Coast Player of the Year and was selected to play in the Alabama North-South All-Star Game. Joey led his team to the area championship in 2008 and 2009. He was voted All-County and All-State honorable mention each of those seasons. Joey went on to play baseball at Southern Mississippi with his Rose team to the USA Championship in 2010, 11, and 13. Joey Myrick. Tennis Player of the Year for 3 straight years.
Spanish Fort recognizing some important people. You see Ed Dismukes right there. He was the one who started up Big Ed's Grill. He used to cook the shrimp and everything else. He's passed that baton, but more special people from Spanish Fort being recognized here at the half.
National Championship in 2016. He currently lives in Atlanta, where he works as a civil engineer. Mitchell Vegas. Tommy Walker. Tommy Walker worked at Spanish High School from 2005 to 2012, where he coached football and most notably was the head baseball coach. Tommy is known for putting Spanish High School baseball on the map and making it one of the most feared baseball programs in the state of Alabama. Tommy led his teams to 3 straight state championships in 2010, 2011, and 2012. His teams were the 5A area champions 6 years in a row. Tommy was voted Baldwin County Coach of the Year 4 times. He also received the Coach of the Year recognition from several other outlets throughout his tenure, being named the FCA Sammy Bain Coach of the Year in 2007, the Mobile Press Register Coach of the Year in 2010 and 12, the Alabama Coaches Association Coach of the Year in 2011, and the Alabama Sports Writers Association Coach of the Year in 2012. Tommy was elected to the Alabama Baseball Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2014. He has served as Fellowship of Christian Athletes head coach from 2006 to 2011. And he was the wide receiver coach at Spanish High School's first ever state championship team in 2010. T-Ball Tommy Walker. Ladies and gentlemen, our program would not be where it is today without these fine ladies and gentlemen who helped build this program from literal scratch. We didn't even have a place to play baseball and football until they got here and got to work. We'd like to thank all these players and all our supporters. Ladies and gentlemen, get on your feet And let's honor the 2018 Spanish Ford High School Hall of Fame.
There at the half, Spanish Fort was up 17-0 and looked like they were really getting ready to blow this one away. First and goal situation and kind of implodes down there, as you said, Dan Brennan, and then all of a sudden Daphne able to block a field goal attempt, move the ball, then they go down and score late. Now they're going to get the ball. They needed that desperately at the end of the half.
You know, they did, because they really never had a rhythm offensively at all, and Spanish Fort was able to make some big plays, you know, almost a flip of the script from what happened last week against McGill-Tulane.
And if they had, you know, any stroke of luck, it was going against Daphne, but they seem to have siphoned it down and gotten settled and getting rid of some of the penalties, because that's what they're going to have to do. They have to execute and cut out some of the penalties that they're having and to get the turnovers going their direction.
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of the key players you see all over the field here, but early on, defense really stymieing the offense, but then a 37-yard touchdown run here by Xavier Love. That put the Toros on top by a score of 10-0, and this was the big one, 73 yards, and you said taking advantage a little bit of that Daphne aggressiveness.
Yeah, they were aggressive with their linebackers with the run blitz, took themselves out of position to make a play, and big play first. And here's a big play.
Yeah, Christian Williams blocked the field goal, like you said, Dan. He was thinking 6 about picking that one up. Second block kick in as many weeks, and then
Christian Williams again.
They move him onto the offensive side of the ball, and you talk about it all the time, Big Lock. You've got to get your best players on the field when you have a chance to do it. We see the stats there in the first half. 209 total yards for Spanish Fort, and the total was really almost half that for Daphne until they started picking things up late there in the first half. And penalties about even so far. The one turnover, and you can see it was 17-0. Spanish Fort had the lead, and now 17-7 is where we're at. And Tara talked to Ben Blackman as he was coming off the field. She also checked in with Kenny King. Let's find out what the coach of the Trojans had to say. Tara.
Well, Jim, Coach King actually spent a lot of time talking to his guys, said they made a lot of mistakes in that first half. He said it looked more like a first game than a second game. They need to calm down. He said, but hey, we're still in this game, only down 10. We just have to finish here in the second half.
I agree with him. But it's been a trend, though, since we've been watching them, to me, that they've made, you know, just a collection of penalties that have cost them.
Well, and we see so many different rivalries, region games. To me, this one, you know, often we will say it's more, maybe it's a bigger rivalry among the fans or whatever than it really is among the kids.
I think I said that earlier.
Yeah, with a lot of games.
Yep.
And I think with this one, I think it is with the kids, and that's why you can.
I think it's from top to bottom.
Yeah,
the kids, the trainers,
everybody.
the managers, the coaches.
Yeah, but the kids are not immune to it, and that's why I think we keep an eye if we don't have some emotion penalties in the second half. I guess that's what I took a long way to getting to that point.
You got us around the mountain, and we're there now. Emotions. That's the takeaway.
CJ Young back deep for the Trojans. Matt Quinn will send it the other way, and Dante Lee is going to be dropped.
Nice play.
Inside the 10-yard line, and seen both teams starting deep in their own end a lot here tonight. So Daphne will come back out there again. Trent Battle, the sophomore quarterback. I've liked his poise here tonight. Vic Lockett from the sophomore quarterback. Really liked his poise. Hasn't had a lot of big downfield plays, but really, and you think about that drive they scored the touchdown on, avoided the sack, threw it away, kept him alive.
He made a big throw down to the 20-yard line, too.
27-yard pickup there. But
for 2 weeks, that's been his M.O.
Bad snap goes off the sophomore's hand, and now he steps up. Still on his feet, does a good job to stay out of the end zone there.
Well, I thought it was the receiver got hit, the motion guy got hit by the ball, and we were talking about that earlier, why that doesn't happen more often.
And let's see if it does.
Tonight.
Watch 3, watch the snap.
Yep.
It
Oh, right in the
does.
face mask of
Yeah.
C.J. Young.
And that's part of the timing and concentration that these offenses go through in practice, that they have to get that stuff down pat.
Boy, you better inside the 5.
And then they get a legal substitution call right now. Yep, these penalties, I have just seen more games with Daphne where they just eat themselves up.
This is going to
shooting themselves in the foot.
Half the distance back to the line of scrimmage here. Going to bring up second and about 19 almost.
They're about to be second down from the Spanish Fort weight room if they're not careful.
Battle's got Pogue, the senior running back, with him. And now another flag dropped on the near sideline.
If this is on Daphne, this is just a comedy, a collage of errors.
Well, Billy Pine's going to tell us.
Red ball, false start on the offense.
Wow.
Half distance to go, still second down.
Yeah, they were looking.
They've got to get this worked out. I just hate to keep harping on it, but you know, you just can't win a lot of football games beating yourself. It's hard enough beating the opponent.
Yeah, a good opponent like this.
Any of them.
Second and now 19 from the 1 yard line. Battle in the end zone, comes to the near side, able to get it out to Young in just a little bit of breathing space out past the original line of scrimmage.
I'll tell you, one-on-one, Young breaks a tackle. That's a big game.
A lot of space up the near sideline. So they pick up 11. So 3rd and 8. Young to the bottom of the screen. His favorite receiver. He hitches and comes back to him, and
they give him credit for it.
Yeah, up to the 24-yard line. That's going to be a first down.
Those guys on the Spanish Fort sideline saying he did not catch it. Let's watch and see what you see.
Can't really tell from that, can you?
Ooh, wow.
Battle looked like he wanted to go to him even earlier in the route there.
I don't know if I saw the ball on the ground after that catch.
I wasn't sure either.
Yeah.
To get the first down and move it all the way out from the 1 up to the 24. Battle flips it out to the far side again. C.J. Young, and he's got speed, and C.J. Young bowls forward. He's going to be close to another Trojan first down.
Heard the defensive coaches on the sideline yelling out double move, telling their DBs to be ready for that action. Turns out it was just to
keep them alert and ready for it.
Yeah, horizontal play right there. Just
give him 9. 2nd and 1. Battle coming to the near side. He's going to get the first down and steps out of bounds across the 40 to the 41-yard line. Pickup of 8.
The way he was stretching it out there for a second, I thought it was going to be one of those RPOs. He was going to run up and stick the ball up there and pass it.
Let's see. Yeah, and he did that earlier,
he
too.
Did.
So keep an eye on that, an RPO where it looks like...
You do that to me one time, I'm looking forward to the rest of the night.
Right.
Cuts it back to the inside, and Battle stood up at the 44-yard line. Well, he's just looks like the moment's not too big for him.
I agree with you. Very almost nonchalant, but you don't want to say that because he's getting things done. But there's no nervousness in the way that he's carrying the ball during some of these RPOs, or that one may have just simply been a quarterback run.
Picked up 2. Try a little reverse here, and that one's sniffed out beautifully.
How about the discipline of Spanish Fort defense? All the action going to the left, then they give it back to the right, and 15's right there waiting on
Terrence Watts, senior linebacker.
Good job.
Able to make the stop. Darius Johnson is trying to bring it around the near side. Now a loss all the way back, 3rd and 16.
Way behind the chains now.
3 is in the slot. It's C.J. Young, and Battle's favorite target last week and this week. Play clock at 5. Steps up, fires, and he's able to get it to Young, who stays in bounds, but he's well short of the first down. Up to the 47-yard line.
Nice throw.
Nice catch.
Yep.
Nice Tony toe tap.
The best they can do right now looks like is just flip the field, Jim.
Yeah, I think.
Sideline warning, Spanish Fort.
C.J. Young kind of hitting himself on the head. And maybe he thought he should have ran the route a little bit deeper, huh, Jim?
Or could have even still turned and gone up the sideline because I think he thought he was closer to the sideline than he was.
Exactly.
Tell you what, it's a very small thing of knowing the down and distance, but it plays really big in a football game.
And where you are on the field,
absolutely.
Right
there. Abrams drain at the 15.
He can change things in a hurry.
So can Guajardo, as we've seen. That one, pressure coming on. He got a good high kick, and Drain got bumped as he called for the fair catch back to the 20. So, hey, from being all the way back at your own 1 to be able to get it to 20, good work by the Trojans there. Let's go back down to Sarah. To Tara. She's got another educator spotlight from Coastal Alabama Community College.
Thanks, Jim. I'm joined now with Chelsea Baldwin, the curriculum leader here at Spanish Fort High School. And first things first, what is a curriculum leader, Chelsea?
Okay, so the curriculum leader is actually a new position in our county. We started it last year, and we were actually split between the middle school and high school, so I was split between Spanish Fort Middle and Spanish Fort High. But then our county saw that it was actually effective, and they wanted one at each middle and high school, so now I'm just here at Spanish Fort High School. But really, my main focus is to partner with teachers and providing the best instruction possible to students. So whether that be finding effective instructional strategies or resources, I'm basically there to support them in whatever way they need it.
So important. And then also, Chelsea, there are some new things going on here at Spanish Fort High School. Can you tell us about those?
One of the main things that's new is our new Power Hour lunch. And so it's really innovative in that students don't have a structured lunch wave, so they can go to lunch, they can decompress and either go to the gym or our library or go to a teacher's room for extra help. And then this also frees up time for teachers to have professional development. We run reading and math intervention, and then we have office hours for support as well. So we're really excited about our new Toro time schedule.
We're excited about it too. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Jim?
Toros not excited about that turnover there as Daphne able to jump on the loose football. They're back in business at the 20 of Spanish Fort.
Just what they need. Ronnie Cleveland here ends up with the football, and he takes it on to the sideline celebrating.
Yeah, had caused a fumble last week, recovers one this week. RPO that just went awry there, Vic Lockett. Burkhalter wanted to pull it back away.
Takes a lot of practice to get that down. I mean, you see the guys on the college level and the pro level not executed well.
At that time,
on this high school level, it's tough.
The linebackers are crossing the line of scrimmage. Paid off that time.
Battle gives it to Pogue, and boy, it's just tough running straight ahead against this Spanish Fort defense. Dakin and Johnson there.
They haven't had much luck all night.
Never 288, 312, and 280 across the front line there.
They weren't easy on McGill either. McGill had some big plays, but they did not just mash it up against them a week ago.
Pogue that time had a little bit of room, stays on his feet, picks up 4. Third down.
Yeah, he got a little bit of movement up front there by the offensive line. Nice little push. And then he cut it back to kind of get some more yardage out of it.
You might have seen Kristen Williams check in, but not the case. Daphne's going to have to use a timeout here.
Getting down to 4.
Yeah, that play clock winding down. They don't want to use one, but they barely got it off. Battle rolls to the right, looking over the middle for the big sophomore, and he's got it. McLean is down to the 5, and it's going to be first and goal here for the Trojans.
Yeah, he was running wide open across the middle for a minute. I was wondering when he was going to let him have it, and he did just before the defenders could get to him and get him covered up.
We're going to call that combination a lot, I would guess, over the next few seasons, with both of them being sophomores.
And Young was coming across the field from the other way, actually brought more defenders into the picture.
Correct. He was running into coverage.
Yep.
And now Christian Williams checks in, and he's matched up at the top of the screen with DJ James.
Coach King going to get it to his best player. Worth noting he's checked in.
Play Clock down at 4. They give it off to Pogue, and he's going to be dropped back for a loss of 4. Ball came out right at the end of that play, but Pogue was down, and Pogue a little slow to get up as well as Nathan Fitzgerald was there.
Timeout. Heat and humidity.
Look at it. Heat timeout. Pogue does not. Look, well, hopefully it's just a cramp for that young man.
Yeah, he's up.
Halfway through the third. 2nd and goal coming up for Daphne, trying to pull within 3 after this. Metal Roofing Center raised the roof cam. That's the Daphne fans over there. White out on the road tonight, and 2nd and goal from the 9.
There's that man split out wide, by the way. Or is it? I'm sorry.
Christian Williams not in the game after the timeout.
Okay.
Battle looking, firing out of the backfield. He's able to drop it, and he's got it to Young for the touchdown. What a pass!
Wow, I thought the defender was going to tip it down, but he put just enough touch to get it over the defender into the offensive man's hand.
From this angle, I'm wondering if we're going to see 6 going the other way. Watch.
Right there.
Here, maybe a mistimed jump.
Yeah, he misjudged it. Well, he could have had it.
There's Young again.
His first score of the season.
Oh, to be Young again.
And CJ with the touchdown, and now
Jim and I are still young, Dan.
Daphne,
as we knock on 50's door,
the chance to cut it to a 3-point game. Bad snap, picked up. Gajardo going to try to run it the far side, drops it, and it goes to the sideline.
I tell you what, that'll make the follies for sure.
I was thinking Garo Upremian is going to kick that one out of bounds. I thought he was going to be able to turn the corner.
Me too for a second.
And he dropped the ball, but how about this touchdown pass? Battle to Young, and Daphne now within 4. Not exactly a dull start here to the second half, and
not exactly a dull game. There's plenty going on. Look at that play.
Trent Battle with that touchdown pass.
I'll tell you what, the concentration of that receiver to hang on to the football going between a defender's hand.
Yep. Nice catch, and then a really nice reaction after he had the ball.
CJ Young.
Hardo with a big kick that again goes through the end zone. Spanish Fort comes out. So Vic Lockett was saying he thinks he said, I think I got it. The trivia question: Spanish Fort 13 in a row here at the Hill in region games. Who was the last team that beat him here on the Hill, Vic Lockett?
It was the folks from Saraland.
Can I give it a guess?
Yes, please. Don't say Saraland.
Daphne Trojans.
7-0.
Did they flash it up there before I said it?
Yes, but you weren't looking.
You cheated.
2014 7-0.
I've cheated on a lot of things in my day, but I was clean there.
Burkhalter hit and dropped all the way back inside.
The ball came out.
Yep.
Ball came out.
Wow.
Did he throw it?
He's saying he did, but I didn't think he did.
Marion Collins was all over him.
Referees are saying he did too. So.
Okay, well, if he threw that, he certainly did it with just the wrist.
Yeah. That's what happens when you're 6'5", 200 pounds. I think a slighter fella might not have got rid of that one.
I mean, looks like he got rid. If he got rid of it, it was from his thigh area.
I don't think Collins thought he got rid of it either. I think the linebacker thought he
had it, and that was it.
Yeah. So 2nd and 10. Good work by the junior to save a big loss there. Thrown to the near side. Oh, you think that's a flag? There's definitely contact around the waist.
If you think it's a flag, what do you think Ben Blackman is thinking right now? He's right down there. Watch it again. Watch the receiver and watch the contact. Wow.
That's Christian Williams.
Yeah, and that's Drain. 2 All-State performers.
I think they let you get away with a little more on those screens because I've done that very same play and they didn't flag me.
Legend. It takes a lot to throw a flag on a legend, Vic Lockett, in a high school game. So 3rd and 10.
I would have flagged you, Vic.
I'm sure.
They give it off. Love tries to cut it back in the middle of the field. Nothing doing there.
Man, you probably would have suspended me without pay.
The Toros.
In high school.
Toros, yeah. The Toros will have to punt on that one. You know, they had not tried to come to Drain often tonight.
No, it's been amazing how whatever offense they've generated, it's not gone through him at all. There they try the screen, and you got a great athlete making a play. You know, was he there a little early? I guess it's debatable, but no flag. And so here we go with Spanish Fort punting the ball away.
Young stands at his own 45. Duff with pressure again and gets it off and down there by the Toros. And with Christian Williams, he times that perfectly.
He's offside.
It does, boy.
He's offside.
He was just bolting in from the bottom of your screen.
Well, that's 3 times that they haven't called it, Vic, so I don't know. You think at some point.
Friday Night Rivals brought to you by Andy Citron Injury Attorneys.
Take your time.
Call, I think I got through the hard part. Call Andy. 251-888-88.
Listen, Andy only cares about that number.
88. So Andy wins, and thanks for being a part of high school football here on UTV 44.
13 straight points by the Trojans.
Region game, Spanish Fort and Daphne. Battle looking for his favorite receiver, Young on the near side, and it's going to be pass interference. Wow.
Thought that was pretty clean. He timed that out perfect.
Michael Gaffney.
But, you know, certainly
coverage.
in the NFL, you got to get your head around, but not on this level.
Well, I don't know about this. I mean, he doesn't even hit him. Well, let's watch it, and then we can react a second time.
Battle showing a strong arm.
Ball actually got there a little before the
That's what I'm saying.
did.
You know, he's just playing catch up, trying to make a tackle.
So
on a first down.
Moving all the way down to the 30-yard line.
I'm sure the Daphne fans are saying, "Hey, we had a bunch of calls against us in the first half, so here we go."
Actually, just move it up to the 40-yard line after the walk-off.
I think the point, though, that should be made is that was a touchdown if the ball's not underthrown.
Flag up on the far side as we see Cameron Farmer with his first carry of the night.
They're desperately trying to establish something on the ground, even between the tackles, and they haven't been able to get it yet.
So back up. Daphne. I think maybe a little discussion. Do you take the down or do you back him up?
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
First and 15 now from the
back him up.
45. 3:46 to go, as Dan said. 13 straight by Daphne. It was 17-0 late in the first half. Trojans got a late one in the first half, and then one here in the third quarter, and now they got the football back. Again here at the Toro 45. Battle, lots of time. Looking on the far side, and that one overthrown. Looking for Dante Lee. We've seen that a couple times tonight where he and Lee maybe not on the same page. And
he definitely had good protection that time.
Yep.
He had good protection, but also Lee was surrounded by 4 Toros.
Battle.
Battle he's been up to his name, hasn't he?
Really like the young man. Sophomore. 6'1", 180 pounds. Again, found out he was starting last week against Theodore on Wednesday. Led his team to a victory. Looking to set up a screen. And Spanish Fort read it perfectly, so Battle's going to pull it down, making some moves, stays on his feet, spins to the 39-yard line. And that's going to bring
decision
up,
by him.
Yeah, 3rd and 9. But boy, Fitzgerald, Carlos Johnson, those big linemen, they started coming in, then whoa, put on the brakes and started going back the other way.
They had motion coming this way. They were actually trying to set the screen for the far side of the field, and Spanish Fort was there. Battle had nothing, and I'm with Vic. He makes a good decision by getting something and not losing yards. He actually got it back to the original line of scrimmage. Or maybe
he's put him a yard in front of the stick.
Yeah. So good job by Battle. He never looks like he's in too big a hurry. And I mean that as a compliment, too.
Sure.
For a sophomore.
Sure.
Logan Hyder comes in and tied in here with an empty backfield on 3rd and 9. Battle fires, incomplete. He's trying for Darius Johnson. Good coverage there by the Toros.
Had a group of defenders around him that time. Got checking into the game. I got Jennifer Blackwood looking in, and she's cheering for her nephew, number 52. Sam Hoover for the Spanish Fort defense.
Good linebacker for them, yeah.
Great linebacker.
Started for them last year and called his name on a big play earlier tonight as well. So another punt here from the Trojans.
Thank you, Jennifer, for watching tonight.
I appreciate everybody watching these games on Friday nights. Guajardo, high kick toward the corner. Might have got too much of that one. Will it bounce back? It stays and checks up at the 1. Wow, what a punt. What a punt. It hung up in the air.
Wow. It looked like maybe the defender was so aggressive in coming in, but he kept the ball out.
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
Good job.
Wow, that ball would have stayed out if they never touched it. The way it was bouncing back.
Yeah, the guy on punt, actually, his body ended up in the end zone, but the ball did not. Fortunately for the Trojans. Yeah. So here comes that big offensive line, right? You got a big veteran offensive line. You've got a guy that ran for over 150 yards in the first half.
What you saying, Dan Brennan?
What's coming now?
Well, it's still the third quarter. This game's still in question.
I'm just talking play-by-play here. Vic, got to run it.
They're going to go wildcat formation. And it looks like there's maybe some movement before the snap. Just across.
No flag.
Out of the end zone. Yeah, the direct snap. Trying to get it to Chris Abrams-Drain, who played some quarterback last year for this team.
They got some power in there right now if you're Spanish Fort.
Protecting the house, huh?
They go back to Burkhalter, and now have to hurry. Late substitution out here. They plenty of time on the clock, and he looked right down the end zone. Vanya Kai, great photographer down there on the line of scrimmage, and now they have to hurry to get this one off at 1. They do not get it off. Do they let the play go? Well, they do. Looked like the play clock had gotten down to 0 and up to about the 6-yard line.
They've found a thing or two right over center several times. That was a big play right there to give them a little breathing room and a chance to convert on a 3rd down. This field is just completely flipped for Daphne here in the 3rd quarter.
They'll actually move it out to the 7 officially, and 3rd and 4 here. And Burkhalter sends Love out in motion, looking his way instead of screen across the middle. Incomplete as they tried Finn Heath.
That middle screen again has been good to him.
Well, that would have been good to them too.
Absolutely, if it would have been caught.
Jim Daphne just sold out, and there was nobody back if Heath catches that ball. Am I wrong about that?
Oh, yeah, he'd have been hitting his head on the goalpost.
Man. Watch again. Watch Daphne, and look where they are. Wow.
Deflected. Yep.
So they sell out, and it actually pays off, and had it not paid off, it probably would have paid off for Spanish Fort.
Marion Collins there got his hand on it just to tip it, and so Duff will now punt from his end zone, and Young stands up at about the Trojan 40. Low line drive kick and just rolls to the 42-yard line. And again, great field position for Daphne as they've had a lot of this 3rd quarter with 21 seconds remaining.
Kind of started with the fumble that gave them the ball down there deep.
Yep.
Allowed them to get that first, at least put them in a position to get the first touchdown of the 2nd half. And ever since then, everything's been played on this side of the 50.
Daphne has not led in this game. They were down 17-0.
It was really looking bleak for a while for them, but luckily they have changed their fortune and got the football right now in good shape.
Defense played well for Daphne in the second half.
You're coming around, Dano. Defense wins championship.
Farmer back in the backfield. He'll take it. He's trying to go all the way toward the boundary and then cut it back to the inside, and he'll watch the film and rethink that decision. Cut it back toward the...
Yeah, back right into the defense.
That'll take us to the end of the third. This is why we picked this game for our Friday Night Rivals game. 17-13, fourth quarter coming up. Spanish Fort and Daphne battling on the eastern shore and on top of the hill. Home team clinging to a 4-point lead. Spanish Fort leads Daphne in our Friday Night Rivals game, brought to you by Andy Citron Injury Attorneys. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck, David Sharp, our statistician, 2nd and 8. Battle rolls out, throws into coverage, picked off. Hung that one up there at DJ James. Still on his feet out toward midfield. The sophomore rolling out to his right and fired that one off. And DJ James, the Mississippi State commit, comes up with a pick.
Yeah, he had an option on a couple of receivers there. He actually picked the tougher one, in my opinion.
He's done that a few times, but he is just a sophomore. But the big thing that James did, because he talked to us about this about a week ago, he's really worked hard on his ability to catch the football. Great speed, great instincts.
And he gets the turnover cape.
He gets the turnover cape because he's been working on his hands. It worked out that time.
Burkhalter gives that one off to Xavier Love, who gets 2 on first down.
Some pads popping in between the whistles. I like that.
Spanish Fort needed a little momentum turn in this game, not just field position. They need to do something to kind of stem the tide a little bit that Daphne had.
Yeah, and keep an eye, see if they don't hit on something big, because this Daphne defense pushes you and pushes you at the line of scrimmage. They have linebackers that are really uptight. Safety's not too far back. They give you a chance to make a big play if you can do it.
Abrams drain, and this could be the big play. He's trying to bounce it to the outside as he takes the direct snap. And again, he could play quarterback, did last year. And this is, again, Big Lockett, like you always talked about. You got your best player on the field. You just got to get the ball in his hands.
He's got to get him.
He's covered all night against the other SEC commit.
Yep.
And so let's just get it. They can't intercept it between the center and the quarterback.
They'd have to be really good.
So. Yeah, these coaches know once you have that gem of a player, you know, sometimes that is going to be your key to get you into the playoffs and deep into the playoffs.
And you just saw the speed right there, right? Just be able to get the corner.
Just a junior, had 11 touchdown receptions last year as a sophomore. Gets this one off on the end around. Look at it turn the corner all the way up to the 30-yard line. Then Heath.
Yeah, running that jet sweep, you know, they're keying on drain, and he just hands it off on the jet.
But you got linebacker eyes, more than likely, that were fixed on drain.
Correct.
Especially after that play. And you know that the coaching staff is saying 1, 1, 1, 1. One hands it off to 5, and there you go.
And he's by you.
Back-to-back first downs for the Toros. Now they're at the 31. Heath again goes in motion, but Drain wants to keep this one. A good penetration by Daphne that time, able to come in to stop that one. Nathan Getch.
Well, they penetrate. They penetrate. They make you figure out what you're going to do with their pressure.
Absolutely.
If you can beat their pressure,
make a decision quick.
Yep, got to make a decision. Exactly. And when you make it quick and you make it right, it can be a big play. But if you do neither, it's that play.
Inside 10 minutes to go. 2nd and 9. Abrams Drain up the middle, and he'll pick up 2 more and bring up 3rd down.
We've had turnovers, we've had penalties. It's been far from a perfect game, but man, it's been a good game.
Part of this is kind of keeping the clock running a little bit, using up some clock when they throwing the ball a lot. Vic, the clock was being stopped, extending the game more. Now we
got a 5 yards in a cloud of dust type of game.
Daphne's got some weapons on the outside when they get the ball back, though, I'll tell you.
Now they've got Christian Burkholder split out wide. Going to be sacked. The ball comes loose. Recovered. They're going to say an incomplete pass.
Oh, wow.
Or are they going to say he was down? Wow, Marion Collins, Hamilton Baker. And then they're going to say an incomplete pass. That's twice Burkholder's got. Okay, but how's that not intentional grounding then? Vic Lockett? I mean, because it went right at his own feet.
Because he's being dragged down and you give him the benefit of the doubt of being physically harassed.
Maybe he would have got it in the correct receiver's hand or near receiver.
Because the grounding we saw where the quarterback wasn't even being.
This will be a 46-yard attempt for Matt Quinn.
He's got the win.
DeWeese to hold. Williams with pressure. And Matt Quinn, as he's been doing since he's been an 8th grader, from 46 extends the lead to 7 for the Toros.
We've got a camera that's 30 feet in the air, and he almost hit that.
Careful of our guy.
20-13.
Wow.
Spanish Fort extends their lead with a field goal by Quinn. Jim Cox, Stan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Quijas in the truck, David Sharp in the booth, our statistician, and our huge crew here, bringing you our Friday night rivals from Spanish Fort. And the Toros just stopped a 13-0 run, if you will, by the Trojans to make this one now a 20-13.
Well, the name of the show really matches the game tonight, Jim.
You can see a lot of games like this in this region. 6A region is just stacked. And Matt Quinn sends that one into the end zone. We've been watching him since he's an 8th grader. And had him on our pregame show as well. Found out he's got a twin brother. But what else do you know about our kicker, Tara Reeves?
Jim, you know, kickers can either be the hero or they can be the villain. So I spoke with Matt before the game about, is he nervous every time he goes out there to make a kick, whether it's 10 yards? He's not nervous because the coaches during practice will throw grass, water bottles, literally pour water as he's kicking, and it really doesn't distract him when he's in the game because of all the distractions that take place during practice. So he says he feels confident and prepared every time he takes the field.
That's how he kicks.
I mean,
we need to try that in Alabama.
He's such a nice young man. I don't know if I'd be throwing things at him. Farmer with the carry and up to the 24-yard line. But more about Matt Quinn, not just great on the field, but also great in the classroom as well. 4.28 GPA, and he's going to go, sorry, Vic Lockett, pre-dentistry, Auburn, UAB, or Mississippi State. I mean,
that's just right now.
Great.
We'll flip him soon.
A great young man. Like I said, he's been kicking since he was an 8th grader. He's got a twin brother. He's got a sister who's a great soccer player as well, and he's the scholastic athlete for Spanish Fort. So, again, nothing in the middle there. Fitzgerald and Johnson, and it's 3rd down coming up here for Daphne.
Fort wall right there. That's a fort built in the middle of the field.
Back to Matt Quinn. You know, Dan, we've been doing this so long and been seeing him for so long. We usually have a nice little chat with him on the game when he's warming up on the field, when he's warming up before the game.
And you guys can't even distract him.
He's never rattled. He's the same demeanor. He's just
if Dan can't get you off your game,
Mom and Dad were at the pre-show taping that we had the other night. Just a great family.
Great guy, and boy, has he been a weapon for this team for many years.
Beat McAdory with a big kick on the road as a real youngster.
Playoff game.
Yep, beat them. Beat Daphne last year at the Horn. setting up the screen on 3rd and 5. They get it to Young. Young breaks a tackle for the Trojans, and he's got a first down across the 35, and he's still in bounds out to the 37-yard line as we approach 7.5 to go.
I tell you, there's something about this C.J. Young kid. I mean, I've seen him make a couple of plays here tonight. There's no going down by the little man right there. It takes 2 guys to tackle him.
So they'll stop the clock momentarily while they get the chains reset. Big conversion there by the Trojans on 3rd and 5.
You know, the weapons they've got on the outside, especially when you bring Williams into the game, they're never out of it.
A-mode!
Backfield trying to get free Joseph Hall. We saw him just a sophomore with a couple carries to start the game. Matter of fact, started at tailback in this one. You would have to think as the clock starts to wind down more and Daphne with the ball in their hands, the greater the chance that you see number 4 check into the game.
Now you can start talking that possession stuff.
Yeah, and you might see him at Wildcat too. I mean, 2 can play that game, right?
He can throw the ball.
Chris Drain going to the Wildcat, help turn the fortunes of Spanish Fort around offensively.
And they give it off to Farmer. He turns the corner on the right side, and he's got another Daphne first down across midfield to the 49.
Well, one good thing we can say for sure is we're not seeing any quitting these Daphne Trojans.
No, and that's why I say, man, this is a neighborhood fight, and no one's going to give in. And that kid hit the corner like somebody running the 220.
And these kids in the white jerseys have never beaten their opponents.
Right,
as
far as
black
jerseys. The guys on the field right now is what you're talking about. Yeah.
Exactly. They've not been around for win only one in Daphne's history. Battle going to keep it up to the 45. Now, late flag tossed from the near side.
They may talk about the formation again.
There's a late flag for formation. Wouldn't you say, Vic? Maybe more of a hold, but it was just after the play had already crossed the line of scrimmage. As we approach the halfway point of the 4th quarter. Face mask.
Wow. Didn't see that one.
Yeah. Ooh, that's the big one.
Personal foul, face mask on the offense, 15-yard penalty, replay first down.
Wow. What a drive killer right there.
Yeah, 1st and 25.
Well, at least that's one of those hustle penalties. You can sometimes live with those.
I don't think you want to live with this down and distance, though.
No, that's not going to hurt.
Battle with pressure coming, trying to get away, and he's going to get up to the 35-yard line. He'll gain maybe 2 on the play. Watts comes up with a sack here. We'll get a timeout for our final heat timeout.
You said humidity
of the
I like it.
Of the night
specifically.
5:55 to go. Spanish Fort leads Daphne 20-13. Spanish Fort band looking on. Their team leads by 7. Daphne the football here at 2nd and 23 after the face mask penalty on first down. Battle, pressure coming again. Able to drop it off, and he's able to get it to Hall, who's back up to about the original line of scrimmage. They'll mark him to the 49, so 3rd and about 8 coming up.
Did the middle screen. It was good to him again. This time they got it executed.
I've seen enough middle screens to last just the first half of the season.
I have seen more tonight than I've seen over some weeks.
Yep.
But the game plan has worked for both teams. And certainly it works against Daphne as aggressive their linebackers.
Yep. And now Daphne's getting some gashes here right when they need it too on that 2nd and very long.
Big play for him here though.
3rd and 8. Battle steps up, dumps it out of the backfield, able to get it to Hall, trying to make a move. Hall, open field tackle and slung down the 47-yard line.
Yeah, well, you like to see him go a little bit further downfield rather than seeing if a guy could make a play underneath, because that is exactly what Spanish Fort wanted him to do. Go underneath and then come up and make the tackle as a group.
Duff makes the play, which is a nice play by him, but watching the linebackers were at good depth, and they didn't give him much room. And
absolutely.
He went where he knew at least had a chance. Hoping he could, guy could make one guy miss. And
then get it upfield.
Yeah, Duff was equal to the task.
Tough luck. Tough trying that against Spanish Fort, though.
Yeah, you're right.
They play as a unit.
High snap. Fajardo able to pull it down and knuckles this one back to the inside, and then you can hear the coaches yelling for
Peter
to get away. And your 4-minute offense right here, Vic Lockett. Can you close out? Can you close out the game? Let's tell you more about.
Here's what we're talking about: run the ball.
Yeah, we sure are.
Our Scholastic Athlete of the Week over on the Daphne side, Trey Shields, a swimmer, and he's a junior, 2017 All-State in 4 sports. Wow. Also the 2017 state champion in the 100-meter breaststroke. He's the state record holder there. And 2018 Scholastic All-American. So hats off to, swimmer's cap off to Trey Shields there as a junior and getting it done in the pool and also in the classroom. So congratulations, Trey.
Amazing.
As Vic said, they're going to run the football. Burkholder hit, drops the ball, it's loose.
Wow.
Daphne's got it.
Wow. There is life. Yeah, I thought for certain that they would just try to milk the clock, and we talk about that 4-minute offense, but Burkholder, he does not give up on a play quickly. He hangs on to it and try to negotiate the pocket and give it all the opportunities to make it happen. But sometimes that defense wins just like this, and they're going to get to you. He's got the ball away from his body.
Yep, Ronnie Cleveland came in. Marion Collins came in, made the hit, and then recovered the fumble as well.
Yeah, Mason was the first guy to get there. The pressure, number 95, big guy, nose guard, fought through a block, and now look what we've got, y'all. We've got a team down inside the 10.
1st and goal from the 8. And Daphne has to take a timeout.
Yeah, I think they want to be certain of exactly what they're doing and what they've got to do, and that's the execution of the play.
That's their first one.
I think that's a good timeout.
Yeah, this is the ball game here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I thought it was a member of the coaching staff, but it was not. You could hear almost the shrieks of disappointment from the fans here on the Spanish Fort side. And it had more to do, well, the result of the play, but I think they were a little miffed that the play was called at all to throw the football there.
The pass.
Right. And then the worst possible thing happened, and it was a fumble by the quarterback.
Yeah. And I think he had a couple like that last week as well, not giving up on the play.
He did. Well, and he did, but they were at midfield. McGill still turned them into points. But, wow, what a turn.
Backed up against your goal down there. Yeah, you don't want to do that. But
Daphne's had a 1st and goal that resulted in no points before. Daphne's saw Spanish Fort's
defense. Reminded of that.
Yeah, came up big, and then they also had a penalty against themselves that backed them way up. But now they've got it 1st and goal at the 8 with plenty of time. We've got 4 minutes left in the game.
It's curious because Spanish Fort ran the ball so well in the first half, Jim, with Love getting over 150 yards himself. And that was a spot where you would expect to run.
Drive for number 1, McClain, the big sophomore. Instead, they want the double pass. Pogue just throws it in the end zone, and it's intercepted. Your running back tosses it into the end zone, and it's picked off. That didn't have much of a chance, it didn't look like.
I saw the RPO setting up, but I thought he was going to go ahead and run it. But his receiver stuck his hand up, and he said, well, I'm going to let him have it.
Yeah, well, that was that. Now, this is the running back. After this is,
Pogue, yeah, and DJ James.
He stuck his hand up as if he was open, but it would have been a tough pass for any quarterback.
Yeah, it would have been. And James makes the play again. And you got 2 plays in a row where the offenses are trying to trick you.
Sure.
And it happened with Spanish Fort, and that backfired.
This is a run here.
You better believe it.
They love the run this time. Xavier Love. Oh boy, if you're Daphne over there, you're just
Well, I tell you what, Ben Blackman, he's saying a sigh of relief. If he could, he needs to buy that kid an ice cream cone that made that interception.
Now, if you're Daphne, you're also a little upset you burned a timeout
to execute.
And so now you don't have the football, and now you're one less with Spanish Fort with the ball.
3:20 on the clock.
Can bet Berhalter's not going to snap it too early.
Nice play.
Pressure coming in is Ronnie Cleveland, who's played really well defensively.
Yeah.
And now a flag at the end of that play. I saw that.
This kid has his helmet off. Could that was part of it.
Kay Gorowski lost his helmet at the end of the play.
Okay, didn't take it off. Lost it in the field of play.
Man, what a place for a flag too.
At the end of the play.
It looks like it's going to be against Spanish Fort.
Oh, they're going to wave off.
Pick it up.
Oh, okay.
You know, the officials had a conference over here and talked about it. So, you know, might be one of those things where one official sees out of the corner of his eye a kid taking his helmet off and not.
Yep.
And the other official said, no. It was after the play. He was trying to adjust.
Yeah, the officials, you know, they can only see from the angle they're at. And there's times.
Either you do or you don't.
Well, I'm gonna do. So there's times though the officials, they can only see what they see, you know, and you can be in a bad position.
Yep.
And you can throw a flag, or you can call a possession that is incorrect, but simply, you know, the angles aren't always perfect.
Daphne out with one timeout left. 2nd and 7 coming up for the Toros with 3 minutes to go in this one. Just so Spanish Fort has it at their own 10, I think it was. Was it their own around the 10? Yeah. And
4 minutes to go.
4 minutes to go.
And
first play, you think they're going to keep the ball on the ground. Go to the pass. Ball gets knocked loose by Marion Collins. Came in, made the big hit, knocked it loose, and then Daphne gets it 1st and goal.
And they
from the 8.
Halfback pass.
Yeah, and to start things off, they take a timeout. They have a play called. They take a timeout. They come back out.
They call the wrong play, or the play that doesn't.
Yeah,
you know, it turns into an interception.
Throw it at DJ James, the corner who's going to Mississippi State, who was in front of the intended receiver Dante Lee in his 2nd interception of the night.
You know, you're calling plays, and these are young people trying to execute it. It just is not a perfect science.
Burkholder fires on the far side, incomplete as he was trying to get it to Drain, and over there with good coverage was Christian Williams.
Yeah, I
and
thought he was going to go for
the
interception again.
Another flag.
Gee.
Over here, eligible downfield against Spanish Fort. For Kenny King, I'm sure you
Might be ready.
An eligible man downfield on the offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
So punt team comes on here, and Daphne still has a timeout.
And still have life.
How about the Daphne defense in the 2nd half?
They've allowed a field goal. That's it.
Yeah, and they have kept this team in the game, and they're about to get it with a chance to put a little scare into Spanish Fort one more time.
C.J. Young. Stand Ryan Duff. Punt from inside his own 5. Quick high kick. Big kick. Takes a huge
He's
bounce.
got to catch that.
Wow, all the way down to the 18-yard line.
He'd like the receiver to at least just stop that momentum of the ball.
It was a high enough kick, Vic, where I thought he'd have time to get under it, even though he'd have to come up to get it.
He could have fair caught it.
About a 67-yard punt.
Yeah, as it turns out.
And then when it hit the ground, I thought he was still going to get it on the 1 hop.
Yeah.
Just to stop the distance.
He wasn't in position to do that.
Yeah. Those are yardage where the ball was bouncing from. Those are lost yardage that doesn't really show up in the stat sheet, Big Locka, but you're right, boy, he grabs that and saves 20 yards. He's tackled right when he picks it up.
Yeah.
So here we go. Battle. quarterback for Daphne. Near side, incomplete, goes off the hands of C.J. Young.
Yeah, tried to get that little swing pass there to see if the Spanish Fort linebackers are going to be out there covering the back, but they were true to it, even if he would have caught it.
Let's see if they try to protect him a little bit and take a shot downfield.
Or do the middle screen again, because that has worked.
2nd and 10, same play, same throw over the head of.
A little too much on that one. Now they're really in a pickle here with 3rd and 10.
Kids made some plays tonight, talking about battle. A couple of throws there, as they say, you'd like to have back. But
and Young has as well.
Yep.
Empty backfield. 3rd and 10. Battles. They rush 3. Steps up, fires on the far side. It's dropped. Oh, man. Stepped up, had the time, and that went incomplete. Goes off the hands of Connor Phillips.
Yeah, Battle's got enough on to make that play, and just wasn't executed on the back end.
I think Phillips kind of lost his footing on the break.
It's going to be a tough catch. Catchable nonetheless.
You lose your feet, it's really tough to make any kind of a catch. And a little surprised Williams wasn't out there on offense, but I didn't see him.
Abrams drained back at the 43. Guajardo to punt. Daphne. Watch this one sail toward their sideline. Spanish Fort didn't put a lot of pressure on. They didn't want to risk a roughing the kicker penalty to
just take, where the ball lands, send your offense out there, execute the 2-minute drive.
How about the 3 and out right there by Spanish Fort's defense?
Absolutely, yeah.
Got a little help with a couple of throws that maybe weren't right on target, but
there's so many changes of possessions. I think our little guy Cates Blackman's running out of gas out there on my watch list for all South Alabama ball boys.
Gets it off and Buck falls forward. Daphne will see if they take their last time out here, and you would expect them to do it.
Time out. Stop, Daphne.
Take their last one here.
First down, and Spanish Fort will be able to
take a knee,
run this clock out. So 2nd and 9. Daphne out of timeouts. Next week, Daphne at home versus Saraland.
Wow.
Spanish
doesn't get any easier, does it?
No, Spanish Fort taking on Moss Point, Mississippi. Their 2nd ever game against a Mississippi rival.
I don't know how Sheldon Lehman's going to be next week, but I think McGill's got to go on the road across the state line over to Mississippi too.
Yep. So there's Spanish Fort, what they have coming up. Robertsdale, BC Rain, then their open week, then St. Paul's. That's going to be a battle. Baldwin County, much improved. Blunt, Gulf Shores, an improved program, and close the year at Saraland. 3 your last 4 on the road.
Yeah.
Next week we're off to Lady Ladd, huh?
That's where we'll be next.
Okay, Ladd.
Here's what Daphne has coming up. Saraland at home. BC Rain, then their big other Eastern Shore rival at Fairhope. Baldwin County, Robertsdale, and then they close it out. How about those last 2 when you're trying to figure out, are you in the playoffs, where are you going to be seated, and go to St. Paul's and at Blunt. Blunt lost to Biger to open things up. Last week, Xavier Love. It's a couple.
Maybe you just get a hotel on the Beltline where you don't have to make that trip twice. How does that work? I guess not.
Just stay.
By the way, McGill, I may have misspoken. I think they actually go to Louisiana to play a game up in Monroe, Louisiana. So
next week,
hopefully have Lehman back for that.
So the play clock going here down at 20 with a minute 40 on the clock. Abrams drains, splits out to the far side, covered there by Williams. And Heath takes the handoff to the near side and falls forward. He's going to be short.
They'd be right there.
They're going to mark him back down behind the 30. He's going to mark it out the 29 or the 31-yard line. He's going to be short of the first down.
Yep, you're right, Jim.
But they're going to. Well, if you're Spanish Fort here, you take all the time and then you snap the ball and you.
Pretty much can get out of here.
Well, I mean, if you don't get the first down, you're going to be less than 30 seconds to go.
Yeah, take the delay.
Yeah, or Ben Blackman's probably going to just let it run all the way down, then take a timeout and decide what he wants to do. I mean, kind of same thing. You probably not, no reason to try the field goal because you're up by 7.
Ben just said we want a timeout with 1 second left.
Yeah.
On the play clock, so that's what they're going to get here.
And then you decide you want to go. You're going to go for it or try to.
Well, if it was me, I'd certainly go for it and just let it salt away. Because you've definitely got the game in hand here, so you don't want anything funny to happen with that oval-shaped football. Good look at the crowd here.
But if you get 2
they
yards,
hadn't gone anywhere.
There's not much time left, but if you get 2 yards, then Daphne never touches it again.
Sure.
Daphne's got no timeouts. And
if you just take a knee, you give them another snap.
Yeah, I think they'll probably bring their big package in, see maybe bring some of the.
Yeah, try to get the first down.
Yeah, I think you should run the ball here.
I think you probably have Abrams Green.
You just try to run it here
as your quarterback. I mean,
I'm with you.
Years of coaching clinics we go to in the offseason have taught us Dan Brennan. So they split out.
Yeah, if you see a coaching clinic and I'm the guy talking, don't come.
Yeah, and Jim's coaching clinic is usually in the Gulf in the summertime, so I don't know any coaches out there.
Abrams Drain takes it, trying to go to the right side behind the blockers, and he's got the first down, and he's going to secure a Spanish Fort victory.
I think that's ball game.
That is it.
They'll just have to take a knee. Actually, they won't even have to.
Well, they stop the clock to move the chain.
But then they'll start the clock again. They won't even have to snap it.
Yeah, because it's under the 24 seconds, and
that's it. Spanish Fort going to go to 6-1 all time against Daphne.
Well, they're happy, but they know they're in a game tonight.
Yeah, I was about to say Daphne did a great job. Keep it respectable. We've seen it get out of hand a couple of times.
Yep.
And it looked as though in the beginning of the game it was going to get out of hand. That was 17-0.
I try to always caution you about that.
Well, oh wise one, you were correct tonight.
Those Spanish Fort evens their record at 1-1. Daphne now 1-1. More importantly, Spanish Fort 1-0 in the region. Daphne falls to 0-1.
And here's what I like to see right here. Dan talked about all day, all night about these kids are rivals from Pee Wee to elementary to middle school, now high school. But look at what you see right there. Coming out, congratulating each other, saying good game. Daphne saying we'll get you next year.
Yep.
We got it. Maybe in the playoffs.
Yeah, that would be great. I mean, you always think about
that possibility is there.
Region teams matching up in the playoffs. So we wait for Tara to try to catch up with Coach Blackman.
I think
great sportsmanship out of both these groups.
And I think the look you're going to see on Coach Blackman's face will be relief. I think that's going to be the emotion as much as anything.
He was very animated at the end of the game. He was very excited about getting the win, and they needed that one. I think.
I agree.
And I think he
coming off what they had last week,
learned something about his team, which is what he had hoped for tonight. And Tara.
And this goes a long way for them buying into what he's talking about.
So we're about to run out of time here, so Tara doing a great job to hustle and catch up with Coach Ben Blackman. So let's go down to Tara. Tara Reeves.
Coach, it was not easy, but your guys never gave up. Talk about the determination they played with in order to come out on top.
Well, I think we have a different team tonight. Our kids started out fast. It got close there at the end, and we had to continue to chug it out, and that's a great win for our team. I'm very proud of our kids. You know, they showed a lot of heart, a lot of integrity. You know, they played with class. And, you know, when you play with class like that, usually you come out on top, and I'm proud of them right there.
Big players step up in big games. DJ James with 2 interceptions. How proud are you of him tonight?
Well, I'm always proud of my kids. I'm always proud of DJ. I think he's a great kid. I think he's a hard worker. And, you know, we challenged him. We challenged him this week, and he responded. And I'm very proud of him. I love him just like my son.
DJ, speaking of, I think when you look up playmaker online, there's a picture of you. 2 interceptions that really shifted the momentum in this game. Let's talk about the last one that you just had with the double pass play. What did you see in order to pick that off?
I seen the receiver work inside. I didn't seen that before at practice before. I just want to thank my coaches because they the one that pushed me this whole week to go out here and be successful. I put my team on my back tonight.
And ultimately, any win is a good win, but to know your senior season, beating Daphne every time you put on a Toros jersey, how does that feel?
How about that? It feels amazing. It feels amazing.
All right, thanks, guys.
Great job, Tara. I thought that was interesting, DJ James, and saw that this week in practice. Our coaches put us in a chance to do it, and so DJ James is going to be one of your nominations for Player of the Game. Xavier Love also had the big first half, 155 yards in the first half and 2 touchdowns for Spanish Fort. And Trent Battle, sophomore quarterback who played well tonight, did not lead his team to the victory. So your final score here tonight, 20-13. Spanish Fort with the victory over Daphne. They get the win. They're 1-0 in the region, 1-1 on the year. Spanish Fort back home here next week against Mississippi. Moss Point, Mississippi. Daphne at home against Saraland. We're at Ladd for our Friday Night Rivals game for Jared Kios in the truck. Tara Reeves on the sideline. David Sharp, our statistician. Vic Lockett, Dan Brennan, I'm Jim Cox saying good night from the Hill, where Spanish Fort wins another one over their rival from Daphne.